love is asking for help. Go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system? You're
A low monthly payment, more for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's Old One Report.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Monday, and it is a very, very special Monday. We are out here at the Golden One Center for Kings Media Day, and we will have access to Media Day all day long. A little bit later in the show, we will have interviews from players, coaches, GM, everybody. So we know everybody is waiting for that. We got to get through, I guess, what'd you say, Chris, his first hour, maybe 30 minutes or so, and then we will get you what you want.
Anything can happen.
Then anything can happen.
Anyone can walk up.
Exactly,
you never know. You never know.
If you were watching / listening to us during the Super Bowl, very similar to what we did with the Super Bowl, where we'd be talking and somebody would just pop up. So we will do our best to, during the meantime, keep everybody occupied with all the NFL news, the huge blockbuster trade with the New York Knicks and the Timberwolves. But we know what you're here for, and we will get everybody out to you as soon as they're available. Chris Watkins, how you doing?
Good, man. Yeah, it feels good to finally be here. I feel like I've been counting down towards this day for like 3 months now, and we're finally here. And, things are still kind of getting prepared. We got NBC over there. We got the cameramen getting ready on our right. It feels like, we're finally ready to kick this season off. And, I'm excited to hear what the guys got to say today. Today is always kind of the day where we get the first vibe for how the team feels like it's coming together, how what the expectations are. I remember last year, I think our first show was shortly after, if not immediately after Media Day.
Right.
And I remember you and I having conversations of, man, they kind of brought up championship a lot here. So
they did.
I'm excited to hear, just kind of the words they use and kind of how they're looking out for this season. And obviously a lot of different balls being juggled in the air right now with who's going to start at the 2. We have a ton of injuries that we're going to talk about in about 15, 20 minutes or so. There's a lot that I think we're going to learn today about this team. And, it's just the start. Training camp starts tomorrow. It's going to go through the rest of the week. And then next thing we know, We'll be right back here for preseason.
So what you're saying is I can officially say the season is around the corner.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I can say that now.
Absolutely. I think you might even be able to say, dare I say, the season is here.
The season is
like,
here.
We got got people. We got Klay Thompson out there in Dallas. I saw him in his jersey already.
Even
it feels
Ben
like
Simmons.
we're here. Ben Simmons out here talking like we forgot he played basketball. I think, it's starting to feel like, the earth is balanced again, and basketball is here. And I'm just excited to see who's going to roll through today. Like we said earlier, anybody, you never know who's going to stop at these seats. And I think it's going to be a really good day for everybody involved.
Yeah, and this is where you can really build that excitement and just prepare for what is to come this season. We know how last season went. And like we said last week, we're going to have a lot of questions that we have written down based on who we might get, who we think we're going to get. But we do want to hear from you as well in the SAC chat and the text line, just as far as if there are any questions that you have. Maybe we already have them written down. Maybe we don't. Real quick, got to give a shout out to our guy, Nate Littlefield, who is sweating profusely. This guy's been working his tail off.
Ooh.
Not just today, but the whole weekend preparing for this. And it's going to be a little bit of camera time.
You got to watch on
Get on
YouTube for today.
Exactly.
Everybody, if you're listening on radio right now, if you have an opportunity, hop on over to the YouTube, because it's going to be the best way to enjoy today's show. We're going to have cameras, 4K cameras, because of Nate. We're going to have cameras on the players. You got cameras on our mug. And Alan, I told you today is going to be crazy, right? What if I told you we already have breaking news? What if I told you, this is from Jeff Passan, Farhan Zaidi is out as president of baseball operations with the San Francisco Giants, sources tell ESPN. So that is how we are starting our Monday. Our Media Day Monday starts with a little bit of baseball news as Farhan is officially out.
Well, I'm not one to dance on graves, but I will say that doesn't make Media Day worse for me. It definitely doesn't make Media Day worse for me and for all the other Giants fans out there. You know, Farhan, everything he did with the A's and then the Dodgers, his whole kind of shtick of, the analytics in baseball and saving money. I mean, he did, I think, what he was meant to do. Unfortunately, there just weren't enough diamonds in the rough that he hit on, right? I mean,
no pun intended.
No pun intended. I mean, the Max Muncy, he had Justin Turner, Max Muncy, a lot of these guys that he hit on when he was with the Dodgers, he just didn't hit enough. And then they had guys like, Donovan Solano and dudes like that. But when you go back to the whole Moneyball conversation, the bottom line is you still need cornerstones. And they didn't have that. When the A's tried to do it, they needed their cornerstones. Red Sox, they probably did it the most successfully we've seen, because the Red Sox, they had their cheaper dudes, but then you had your cornerstones, and they ended up moving on from Mookie Betts, but guys like that. So Farhan, I think this goes to show, very similar, Chris, to what happened with Steve Wilkes. We'll know more about what baseball thinks of Farhan based on what he does next. If he gets another gig, whatever happens with Farhan, we will know how baseball feels about Farhan based on what happens next in his career.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll get to basketball throughout the portion of today's, like the large majority of today's show. So I do kind of want to focus on this just for a minute. But like, when do you think was, like, especially with hindsight being 2020, what do you think was the moment where the writing kind of started to be on the wall? I mean, we heard, what was it, a couple of weeks ago about the Buster Posey being heavily involved in Chapman stuff? Or do you, I mean, obviously this has kind of been a long time in the making. Do you just feel like there was, at some point, the straw that broke the camel's back?
Yeah, I do think that you add that extra wild card that they did in baseball, Chris. You got to make the playoffs. And some of it isn't his fault, with Jung-Hoo Lee going down. Blake Snell was up and down and decided not to pitch this last game because it wasn't against a playoff contender. Some of the things we saw coming, some of it didn't. But I do think that when you look at all the seasons that he was there, he had that outlier where they won 100+ games. Besides that, just not making the playoffs, and then they extend the playoffs to 3 wild cards, and you still can't seem to get in. I just think it was simply this season. I think this offseason, he did build a lot of goodwill, but, some of it's his fault. Some of it isn't. Some of it they saw coming. Some of it they didn't. I mean, you could make the argument, okay, you didn't get what you thought you'd get from Jung-Hoo Lee because he got injured, but then look what you got from Elliot Ramos. So either way, it wasn't going to be enough.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
could switch the names on who gave you that type of production, and it still wasn't going to be enough. I mean, and then they want to go on and, Matt Chapman hitting in the Parkers, and then the biggest signing that you had, or, extension that you had, Matt Chapman, a story comes out that you weren't
almost
even
immediately
involved,
too. Yeah.
right? Or that Buster was needed. So exactly what we say about Nick Sirianni with the Eagles and they're tumbling, by the way. What is it exactly that you do here,
right,
Farhan? Because, Chris, I've had conversations. I was in the Bay. Farhan does not have that big of a hand in drafting.
Right.
Now, his whole thing is finding the diamonds in the rough. So you don't have a handle in drafting.
Right.
You didn't help re-sign the biggest extension that you had in Matt Chapman. So your only job here is to find random diamonds in the rough. That doesn't sound like a GM, president of operations.
No, it sounds like
a
scout or
side
something.
gig.
Yeah.
Yes, it sounds like a scout side gig. So, hey, we wish him the best.
Yeah.
We'll see. A lot of people are saying it's going to be Buster Posey.
That's what I was gonna
Originally,
ask,
Buster didn't want to do it, but things can change. And maybe Buster putting his hand in the Matt Chapman situation was him saying, oh, maybe I am into this. So, yeah, I would love Buster Posey. I would love going down the Buster Posey route, but yeah, we'll see. So, hey, Farhan, thank you for your service. Thank you for, that 7-win season, and we'll see you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of naturally you kind of segued into it. I think that's naturally the next place to go is this Buster's job for the taking? I mean, obviously with the reports of him being so heavily involved in that Chapman extension, it seems to me like if he wants it, it's his. Right?
Oh yeah, he can do what. Yeah, if he decides he wants to go down that path, and that's the thing, the level of how much Buster. What we don't know is how much the Giants are taking up Buster's time day to day now. We know how much it would take up if he was the GM, president of operations. But if it's a huge difference, maybe it doesn't happen. But if Buster's already in the trenches as much as we think he is, or it feels like he is, then basically what's the difference?
Sure.
Right? It's just take the title and just go from there. So that's what we're trying to figure out now. If you're just now joining us, Farhan Zaidi is out with the Giants. The Giants have moved on. And similar, Chris, to Gabe Kapler. I think Gabe Kapler might be helping out with the Marlins, but he's not a guy who got another head coaching job or manager job right after. So what does that tell us about what baseball thought about Gabe Kapler? So, yeah, I think Farhan will find his place somewhere, or will find a gig somewhere. I don't think he will. I think he'll be focused on what it seems like he's good at. Hey, who are the land of misfit toys? Like, who are those toys that we can add to our roster? He was very good at finding those guys, but wasn't able to find the actual cornerstones. And it's not like they didn't try. Right. And Juan Soto is another guy everybody's going to be looking at, but based on the Yankees being that 1 seed, if they bring a title to New York, Juan Soto is not leaving. I mean, anything is possible with money, right? If the Mets or whoever gets involved, but I just think that he will get that money or something very similar to that money if they win one. This would now be a guy who's won 2 World Series. If the Yankees do it again, he did one with that random championship with the Nationals, and then gets one with Aaron Judge and with everybody that they have, Giancarlo Stanton and Jazz Chisholm. So we'll see what happens there, but that's the big name.
Real quick though, what do you think Farhan's legacy is at the end of all this?
I think Farhan's legacy is getting the Giants to a comfortable spot spending wise and being somewhat competitive, right? I think the problem was they hired Farhan at the worst time. You had the Dodgers about to spend even more money than they'd been spending. And then you had basically think about it, Chris, in the time Farhan has joined the Giants, the plan was we're going to get rid of these bad deals and we're going to make sure that everything, looks better as far as the books are concerned.
Right.
As they did that, the Dodgers decide to spend more money. They get Freddie Freeman. They get Mookie Betts. They get Shohei Ohtani. They win a World Series.
Yamamoto. I mean, the list goes on and on and
albeit the 2020 season, shortened season, they win a World Series. Then you have the Padres and the Padres Renaissance and the party at Petco, and you have Manny Machado. You have Fernando Tatis. They go out, they get Xander Bogaerts. You have that situation. And then randomly, by the way, the Diamondbacks out of nowhere make the World Series last season. So, and then they get Corbin Carroll, and now we're looking at Okay, so they have young talent that they're bringing up.
Right.
So really the only team that they've been better than is the Colorado Rockies. That's it. Who are terrible.
Yeah.
So, and shout out Charlie Blackmon. He might be
That's
done,
right.
but that's literally the only thing that the Giants are only team they've been better than. So besides that, man, I think his legacy has been, hey, we were 500. We were 500.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. With that one historic season.
One great
which
season.
looks more like an outlier than anything else.
Looks like a complete anomaly.
Got to get to a break. People are starting to funnel in. Like I said, we have a lot planned for you today. We are going to continue this conversation, and we're going to talk a little bit about football when we get back and what happened yesterday with the Niners and the Raiders, so on and so forth. But anything could stop at any time as soon as these guys start popping out. So you don't want to go anywhere. Stiles and Watkins, we'll be right back.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento Kings Media Day
on Sacktown Sports 1140.
We haven't seen a player yet, but we're starting to see some of our friends that work within the Kings organization. Everybody is starting to get the jitters. And we're all excited and we're all really pumped up. I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's a social media area. There's a purple wig. We don't know who's going to be wearing the purple wig. It might be a player. It might be Nate. It might be Chris. It's not going to be me. It's probably going to be Keegan. And Chris, you showed me the specific area where the famous Keegan Chum. Yeah, you showed me that area. So we might get some sound. Hopefully we get some sound bleeding over from stuff like that. So yeah, we are rocking with you.
We might hear Mike Brown scream.
We could hear anything.
Scream,
yeah.
He infamously did it a couple years ago. I think that got caught on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Anything and everything is possible.
Speaking of, Chris, I know that we have a bit of an injury update, and we're going to be asking these guys about their injuries and, you know, how they're feeling about everything. But, yeah, a little bit of bad news. I think that
End of last week with one Trey Lyles. Some of them we knew.
Yeah.
Some of them are a bit new.
Yeah, some of them we knew, like you said, but it doesn't make it better to see it laid out like this, especially when we're here today, you know, media day. It's a good, exciting day. We want to look forward to the future. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it's kind of tough right now with the Kings. I mean, I think it's been a little bit under talked about. I heard Dave and Jason talk about it this morning. I think it's a really important note as we head into training camp this week. The Kings are going to have a lot of guys just straight up miss camp because of injury. And I think that's definitely incredibly detrimental. I mean, it's definitely more detrimental for a guy like Devin Carter than maybe it is for a guy like Trey Lyles, who's been a veteran, who's been in the league for a couple of years, who's been in this system for a couple of years. But nonetheless, I mean, you don't want to see guys miss time, especially in training camp where you kind of get the most focused attention on what you're going to do throughout the season. Just to give you guys those updates, Trey Lyles with a groin sprain is going to be reevaluated in 3 weeks. And I do, again, Dave and Jason talked about it this morning. I think it's important to focus on the reevaluated part of this, not Trey Lyles will be back in 3
Right,
weeks. He might be back in 3.5 weeks. He might be back in 4 weeks, but it's the reevaluation is in 3 weeks for Trey Lyles. And then you also, in the same press release, get Jordan McLaughlin with his ankle sprain. He's going to be, again, reevaluated in 2 weeks. Hopefully we can see, maybe at least a game or two of Jordan McLaughlin in the preseason before the real action starts off.
Right.
Trey, I think it's pretty much a long shot for him to get any preseason time in. We know Kevin Huerter, they gave an injury update on him. He'll be reevaluated in mid-October prior to being clear for full contact court activity. So he's obviously not going to be participating during training camp. I'm sure, they can get their runs in and everything like that. Maybe if they're doing walkthroughs, they can still be a stand-in, but it's nothing like going through it. And of course, we know, again, Devin Carter is going to be reevaluated in about January or February. Don't really have a good exact time frame on that, as he had surgery in mid to early July and was given, again, a 6-month reevaluation period on that. So it's just a handful of names. That's 4 important key rotational players that are going to at least be missing training camp for this team. And I just think, that's something where, as this team probably needs to, as every team wants to get off to a good start, it could be a reason why maybe we see these guys kind of get off to a bit of a sluggish start. And, it's not a guarantee, but Trey Lyles missed the first couple weeks of last season at the beginning of the year. And it kind of took him to feel like he's getting up to speed. And, I think you just hope that with those guys missing time, it doesn't affect the Kings jumping out to a good start. I don't think it will. I think all of those injuries are pretty minor, but I just think, it's just not something you want heading into the season. And the Kings aren't alone. Keith Smith over the weekend put out a list of about 15 to 20 names of guys who are out. So it's not just the Kings that are missing guys. It's guys all across the league, but it just feels like
you have that list.
It's pretty impacted here. Yeah, Keith Smith out here with the updated list of people who are injured or have injury designations heading into camp. You have Bruce Brown, you have Devin Carter, Gigi Jackson, Kawhi Leonard, Trey Lyles, Jordan McLaughlin, Kristaps Porzingis, Julius Randle, who we'll get to in next segment, Mitchell Robinson, Jared Vanderbilt, Devin Vassell, Jacoby Walter, Mark Williams, Patrick Williams, Vince Williams Jr., Christian Wood, all out to start training camp. And then there's guys who are out for the season. We have Sadiq Bey, De'Ron Holmes, and Nikola Topic all already out for the season. So there's a lot of really, decent role players in there that are going to be missing a portion of the season. And like I said, it's not just the Kings, but going through that list, the Kings are definitely the most featured team on there.
Like that.
And Kevin Huerter, I don't believe, was even listed on that list. So definitely the Kings seem to be one of the more injured teams going into training camp.
Right.
Hopefully they'll be able to fight through that.
Yeah. And, I want to take this in a couple places, Chris. The first place I want to take this is, I feel like there are a decent amount of young names on there, young players. And I don't know if the NBA, and maybe I'm overreacting, if the NBA reevaluates, no pun intended, how they go about the draft and scouting process. It is kind of bizarre to me that there are a good amount of rookies on here. Maybe they're just freak accidents, but a good amount of young names on there. Talked about De'Ron Holmes, and you have Jacoby Walter and obviously Devin Carter. I don't know if these guys are dealing with things and they're powering through because Devin Carter.
That was the case with Devin Carter.
Right. Because everyone talked about how much he didn't miss time, right, at Providence, Fryer. And I think that's how they say it.
Get it in.
So
they'll probably be in here today.
They'll definitely be in here
Devin's
today.
if
Devin goes ahead and pops out. But yeah, so I wanted to take it there. The other place I wanted to take it is when you look at a guy that we've been trying to figure out who he's going to be on this team with Trey Lyles at the wing position. And we spoke to Monty McNair on actually last week, not on the air, but just the conversation of Kevin Huerter and playing the 3 and does he look beefier? Is he on muscle milk? What's going on there? We can ask Monty again here on air, but I look at a Jaylen McDaniels, and now this is a situation where we might see what he's got because you're thin at the wing position. Yes, you go out, you get DeMar DeRozan, but without Trey Lyles, getting those reps, that's more time for Jaylen McDaniels in camp to kind of see, hey, what do we have with this guy? So that's a takeaway that I have. And I feel like, maybe as we talked about Farhan, who just got, let go from his job, looking for the diamonds in the rough. That is one thing. When I was listening to the Drive guys, maybe a month ago, they said some of the diamonds in the rough, or, the found money was not found last season, right? It didn't work out with some of the guys who are no longer here.
Right.
Can you find some of that money with the Jaylen McDaniels, guys like that? And Chris, if you're talking about an injury to Trey Lyles, that's more than found money, because you need production.
Yes.
Found money was Keon Ellis.
Keon for
right?
sure.
This is getting to a point where in a wing-driven league, you need this.
Yeah.
You need this. So yeah, it'll definitely figure itself out, but we are going to continue to figure it out as the time progresses. Coming up next, we continue the conversation as we talk about injuries. One name on that list, Julius Randle, but he ain't on the Knicks anymore. He is on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Will he be available when they face off against your Sacramento Kings? And like we said, as we continue to break down all these things, it could all end at any moment when some of these players start popping out. So you can't go anywhere. Stiles Watkins, we'll be right back.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleanser nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Khalid, live in concert. See him performing at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the sensational Khalid for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. For more, visit KhalidOfficial.com.
When is the best time to buy a new air conditioning system? Right now with Bell Brothers end of summer clear out sale. You'll get up to $2,700 off a top of the line AC system. Plus, no payments or interest for 1 year for qualified buyers. Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com because we only have a limited number of new top of the line AC systems. And when they're gone, this offer is over. Need more info? Call us. Estimates and second opinions are always free. So call now for up to $2,700 off a new premium AC system. And no payments or interest for 1 year. Plus, if you call now, we'll throw in your choice of a free smart thermostat or indoor air purification system. But you have to call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com. Remember, end of summer is the best time to buy and save on a new AC system. Thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Live from Kings Media Day.
It's Stiles and Watkins
on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, Kings Media Day. That's right. It comes but once a year, and we have you all the way up to 2 p.m. Jason Ross is actually in the building.
Yes, he is.
As well. He keeps trying to sneak on camera. I said, Jason, it's not your time. You already did your show, Jason. Stay over there as we get ready. He says, don't make me do it. Uh-oh, here he comes. Jason Ross, the one, the only. Here he is. There you go. There you go. The one, the only. And Carmichael, Dave, Jason Ross, they'll be doing some interviews as well, and we will be releasing those. So anything you need, and if you're just now joining us, we are here live at Kings Media Day. Anything you need, all of the different interviews that we'll have, they're going to be here live, of course, on YouTube. If you're listening on AM, if you're listening on the Sacktown Sports app, if you're listening on TuneIn, we will have it all live, and then we will have it all potted up for you on the app and also on YouTube as we anxiously await the first player to come out, the first coach to come out, Monty McNair to come out, and we will get to all of that. By the way, first segment, we talked about Farhan Zaidi being out as president of basketball operations with the San Francisco Giants. That is from Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan then went on to announce that Buster Posey, this has been a conversation people had for a very long time, whether Buster would get back in the fold. Originally, didn't feel like Buster wanted to, but hey, we change, Chris, and we evolve as people. Buster Posey, this is from Jeff Passan, the three-time World Series winning catcher for the San Francisco Giants, is taking over as the president of basketball operations for the team after Farhan Zaidi's firing. Like I said, we don't dance on graves, but if you are a Giants fan, you really couldn't have drawn it up any better. Let's focus on Buster more so than Farhan, because obviously Buster can do no wrong.
Right.
You remember him, the Posey hugs from the no-hitters to the championships. This is exactly what I think every Giants fan was hoping for. Doesn't mean that it'll work out, but, you know, once everything came out that Buster Posey was a bit behind the Matt Chapman deal and the conversations with Scott Boras and Matt Chapman and Farhan Zaidi just kind of got stuck, and it was Buster who got that thing over the finish line. I think at that point we realized that anything was possible, Chris.
Yeah, and I also am seeing here that the Giants released an official statement where they announced the release of Farhan and also announced that Buster's going to be taking over. And in here is a little nugget that I think is definitely newsworthy for sure.
Okay.
For anyone wondering about what this means for Bob Melvin, in this statement it says Buster has the demeanor, intelligence, and drive to do this job, and we are confident that he and Bob Melvin will work together to bring back winning baseball to San Francisco. That to me sounds like Bob Melvin's coming back next season. Yeah?
Yes. You're going to give him and I've been hard on Bob Melvin, but you're going to give him a go with Farhan being out. That's what's interesting about these different timelines. When you let go of somebody, then somebody else comes in, but this person didn't work as closely with somebody else. These timelines are pretty close because you're going to have Bob Melvin, who you might even give him a mulligan this past season because it was under Farhan. Now he'll get to go through with Posey. Doesn't mean he'll get an extremely long leash, but he'll get another look at things with Posey at the helm. And look, you talk about the Juan Sotos of the world and guys with legacies. You got Buster Posey in that room, and he puts those 3 championship rings down, and he says, I want to build something like that with you. As long as the Yankees don't win the World Series, I think that they'll at least listen. So that's all we can really ask, Chris. But we did want to get into the Timberwolves-Knicks trade.
Oh, man.
Complete blockbuster.
Yes.
Complete blockbuster. How many times did we have conversations where it was, okay, NBA's done, training camp's about to start, how do you feel about how the offseason went? And this was out of nowhere. not just to the basketball world, but also to Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns, if for some reason you missed it, you were at your daughter's soccer tournament all weekend. Karl Anthony Towns is now a New Yorker. He is in New York
Knick.
with the Knicks.
Box office.
Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, along with the first-round pick, headed to Minnesota. You know Minnesota was looking for more offense.
Yeah.
Dante DiVincenzo, ridiculous year shooting the ball. And you have Julius Randle, who never has seen a shot that he doesn't like. So two of those guys now headed to Minnesota. Of course, off to the Western Conference. Let me ask you this, Chris, first and foremost.
Game 1, too, right
Game
here.
one.
October 24th.
We have to look up, will
Golden
Julius
One Center.
Randle be ready, right? But I'm pretty sure Dante DiVincenzo will be.
Yep. Revenge
Who
game.
got better in this trade?
I think I personally think that the Knicks got better. I think you kind of in a way you sell your depth, and I think that's really going to be the thing that could potentially doom New York at the end of this thing once they reach the playoffs. I mean, they're 5 deep. They have their starting 5. It's a really, really good, maybe the best starting 5 in the NBA right now. But their depth is just not there. And there's also a lot of questions about Karl Anthony Towns, the player, right? Like his toughness. He now has to play center and only center. He doesn't have Rudy Gobert to maybe take away some of those matchups that he's not super fond of. He's got to go against the Joel Embiids of the world, the Domantas Sabonis of the world.
Anthony Davis thing, kind of.
100% the Anthony Davis thing, where you those guys want another big body to kind of take the punishment away, so that they can do a little bit more of the finesse work and things like that, and not beat up their body. I think it's a big risk for both teams, undoubtedly, but I think if you're a Knicks fan, you have to feel good about it. I mean, you get an unreal talent, a former #1 pick, a guy who has not been a bust by any stretch of the imagination, just maybe not the guy that everybody forecasted him to be when he was first drafted. But Cat's an all-star. He's an all-NBA caliber player, undoubtedly. It's just really the physicality and I think some of the mental stuff is the thing that's really doomed Cat. But I again, if you're a Knicks fan, it's tough to leave that trade and not feel good about it. I mean, Julius was already going to kind of be a little bit of a black sheep. You didn't really know how he fit with the Nova Knicks and how that was going to vibe because they played so well after he went down. But, I do think that it's a very Knicks move, right? Like it's a very marquee box office. Hey, come see us. We're really trying to compete type move. And for Minnesota, it's a bit confusing. I can't lie. I've been trying to find what the obvious angle is from Minnesota. And the only thing I can really come up with is that they think Anthony Edwards can take another level. And they kind of feel like maybe Cat not necessarily gets in the way, but this allows Anthony Edwards to kind of spread his wings as much as he needs to. And their success is going to be dependent on how far he can take them. And I think it gives them a little bit more flexibility down the road. But the Julius Randle part of it is really the part that I just don't get from Minnesota. That doesn't, to me, does not feel like a fit for their team. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Julius is a great offensive weapon, 100%. He's somebody who can get you triple doubles. He's someone who can put up, 25 to 30 a night. But I don't know how much of that is going to come at the expense of Anthony Edwards. We talk a lot about with this Kings team, Mike Brown, if we talk with him, he's going to bring up 0.5 offense. You need to make a decision in 0.5 seconds. Well, Julius Randle plays a 5 offense where he takes about 5 seconds to make a decision before he actually makes it. I just think that that's not really how you play team basketball. And, we'll see how it works. I mean, I could see it working out not as bad as what people think for Minnesota, but right now I just can't really see how you could label Minnesota as the winner of this trade. Though they do get a future pick. And as we found out this summer, apparently if you trade a future pick, you automatically lose a trade because that's what the Kings did, and we got killed for getting DeMar DeRozan.
The reports as far as the Karl Anthony Towns thing, I do think the reports are surprising. And I know he's injured, but the reports that the Knicks are looking to trade Mitchell Robinson, that is going to what you were saying. Karl Anthony Towns is not playing the 4, right?
No,
they are not. They're
no.
not even leaving it up to the imagination. So he's coming from a situation where we were worried that it wouldn't work out with Rudy Gobert. It ends up working out with Rudy Gobert, at least enough to the tune of a Western Conference final. And now you move on, and now Karl Anthony Towns goes back to the 5. We don't know. Just based on his demeanor, you would think he probably likes the 4 better.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be where he is He is playing now. So, yeah, I think those reports coming out right after saying we are all in on Karl Anthony Towns, and we're going to do it that way. I also feel like the Knicks, Chris, and stay with me here, they're kind of going the Celtics route of Jason Tatum's our number one, but what's really a number one, right? What's really a number one? Because when I look at the Knicks, you got Mikal Bridges, who's been a number one. You have Jalen Brunson, who is their number one. But after that, who's their number two? We just looked at, who was it? Yahoo Sports, best 1-2 option. It could be anybody. It could be Karl Anthony Towns. It could be Mikal Bridges. It could be any of these guys. So I think it's a good problem to have, but it feels like the Knicks, we are moving away, as we discussed before, we are moving away from the big three era, and we are moving towards we just want 5 dudes that can we're going to have our number one. We're going to have our number one, but we just want elite 2s that are maybe 3 options, and we're just going to rock and roll from there. We don't need 3 dudes and 2 bums, because that's how it was, right? With no disrespect to the Heat and the guys like that. But you are, especially now with the first apron, second apron, you cannot afford quite literally to pay these guys crazy money, because the other dudes that you're going to have on your team, they're just not going to be able to do very much. And especially in, the Western Conference is still better than the Eastern Conference, but you got to go up against the Sixers of the world and the Celtics of the world, where they are pretty darn balanced. So yeah, it's going to be fun, honestly, to see how the Knicks figure it out, and the Timberwolves on the other side. Let's stick with the Timberwolves. I want to bring up something to you, Chris, on the Julius Randle topic, and why maybe the Timberwolves thought it was a good deal. Also, Steve Ballmer is hating on Kings fans. Why? Crazy. Because they're too passionate. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Advanced Infusion Center, where we prioritize your comfort and well-being. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or seeking specialized IV therapy, our state-of-the-art center offers tailored solutions to meet your needs. Advanced Infusion Center's dedicated healthcare professionals are here to ensure your safety and provide personalized care. Conveniently located in Sacramento and Yuba City with flexible scheduling options. Experience a new standard in infusion therapy. Visit Advanced Infusion Center today at advancedinfusion.com.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
All Kings,
all day.
Kings Media Day.
On Sacktown Sports 1140.
We're getting closer. We know that the 11 o'clock range, Stiles and Watkins here taking up to 2 p.m. We know that the 11 o'clock range is when guys are going to start popping up and popping out, just like Kendrick said. So we are very excited. Not only is Jason Ross here, Carmichael Dave, somebody convinced him to show up. So Carmichael Dave
must be a big day.
Yeah, running around here like he owns the place. And yeah, the buzz it's starting to get louder, Chris. We're seeing some of the players warming up. We're seeing some of the players, getting their workouts in for the day. So yeah, and then after that, they got to change into their uniforms, not to play, but to get interviewed by people like us. Yeah. And we know everybody listening is excited for that. So we will keep rocking with you until that happens. And real quick, just want to give a shout out to anybody that might be new listening today. We know that a lot of people have their schedules, and maybe 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. doesn't normally meet your schedule, but you're making an exception for media day. Anytime that seems to happen, Chris and I, we are a little bit away from 1 year here doing this show, and it's been great stuff so far. So if you're new, thank you for listening. If you've been rocking with us from day one, thank you for rocking with us. So just wanted to put that out there as we get ready. And look, I'm gonna peel back the curtain right now. We got Lance Woods. He's saying what's up to the crew. Mark Jones just walked in. Yeah, Jay Triano. So everybody, Lance Woods is doing something we cannot show on video. We cannot show any of this on video.
Well, we got
very
Trey
excited.
Over my right shoulder.
Very excited for the Kings season.
That's a lot of gyration.
Yes, a lot of gyration going on, and that will probably be memed for a long time to come.
Oh, man.
And
I got you. We'll make eye contact.
I can't look. Do not look into his eyes. Do not look into his eyes. As Deuce Mason just pulled up too with the NBC Sports crew. Deuce is always suited and booted. So we're getting closer. We say all this to say, hang with us. We are getting closer to exactly what you are looking for. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, Chris, they hope that they are getting closer to a title. So this is what I wanted to get into. So I looked at this over the weekend when everything broke. So you have basically, you traded away Karl Anthony Towns, to get Julius Randle, who is about $20 million less. He has a player option for $30 million next season that he probably will opt into. That's my guess. So you have a player option there. You get Dante DiVincenzo, who's coming off the best shooting season of his career. High volume, by the way. I don't know if we can trust
very much doubt he's going to get that many shots in Minnesota.
There's no way. Or Anthony Edwards might walk out. And then you have obviously the first round pick. So I don't know if the Timberwolves got better, but I can see the vision and the thought process. You essentially get a diet Karl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle for $20 million cheaper. You get a Dante DiVincenzo. You needed more shooting. You desperately needed more shooting. You could not say when we had Timberwolves writers on, we need better offense. We need better offense. So you draft Rob Dillingham. That's not enough. So you get two offensive-minded guys at a cheaper price than Karl Anthony Towns, who's also offensive-minded, and you get a pick. So will it work out? I don't know. In the immediate, I think the Knicks did get better, but I can see the vision and the thought process for the Timberwolves. I don't know how it will look this season, But I get the thought process. We're just going to get basically a cheaper Karl Anthony Towns, and we get a shooter, and we get a first-round pick. And at that point, we still had some questions about Karl Anthony Towns, right? Do you even think Karl Anthony Towns is worth $50 million? Let's start there. Because if you don't, then what are we talking about?
No, I mean, I don't. And I do wonder how much of this has to do with that dollar figure being too much. I mean, we see guys like, Zach LaVine. They can't move off of that deal. Now, I'm not saying Cat's going to be that much of a pariah, but we don't know. I mean, Cat it's been a weird conversation that it's been around Cat his entire career. Who's to say that, maybe he gets injured and maybe things just don't go his way. And maybe that contract is not movable. And I think it's good for them to, if they do feel that way, to maybe move on from it earlier rather than later. You don't want to get bogged down as you're trying to build up for Anthony Edwards. And I think you bring up a great point with Dante. Like, we don't know what Rob Dillingham's going to be. And they kind of had a lot of stock invested into him with how that roster was constructed at the time. I mean, Malik Monk is really the one-to-one comparison that I would give for Rob Dillingham as a prospect. And look how long it took Malik to get his footing in the league. And for a team that still is talking about having Western Conference title hopes, you can't really make that kind of bet on a rookie where, you don't know what you're going to get. So like you said, you bring in Dante DiVincenzo, has the best year of his career. He has a better idea of who he is and what he's going to bring to this team. I think it's a risky move for Minnesota, no doubt, but you could definitely see how, especially financially, this could work out for him. And I do wonder as well, and I don't know if we can get an answer to this, but you talk about the financials, how much of this has to do with Minnesota's ownership? They've been through probably the strangest ownership transfer and then non-transfer that I've ever seen, where if you remember that Alex Rodriguez group, they had agreed to buy the team. And then Glenn Taylor goes against it and says, actually, I think he said that, one of their payments didn't go through. And so the entire sale falls through completely. I wonder how much of this maybe has to do with Glenn Taylor kind of wanting to cut costs. Maybe if A-Rod and his group buys the team, they're a lot more willing to just throw new money. I mean, we see what Matt Ishbia did in Phoenix. You get that new owner syndrome. You walk in and you want to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to throw my money around. Hey, we're going to win at a high level. Maybe this is just as simple as, Glenn Taylor stays and he was never going to pay for this expensive of a team. And, we'll see if it works out for him. This team was built to beat Denver. And maybe it also is that Denver isn't really the team that they have circled anymore. Maybe it's now OKC. Maybe they see that the Western landscape has kind of evened out a bit, and you don't have to have a team, you don't have to Houston Rockets it and build a team specifically just to beat one team, only to find out, oh man, we ended up playing the Dallas Mavericks in the conference finals and didn't do us any good to have a team ready to beat Denver.
And folks, we can hold the presses, okay? Because Kyle Draper, has arrived.
Goodness gracious,
Kyle Draper. I repeat, Kyle Draper has arrived. He is suited and booted. Kyle Draper has arrived.
I wasn't sure. I mean, Cat got traded. I was look, I don't know. I haven't seen Drapes. I haven't heard from Drapes. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Good to know we got that man locked down.
There you go. Right. Okay, speaking of moves, Chris, what is going on with this Steve Ballmer situation and the Kings?
So this is crazy. I saw this on socials yesterday. Shout out Crown Downtown, who's always been a really involved fan. I don't know fan coalition, I guess you would call it. Group of Kings fans who were really involved in the saving of the Kings, obviously during their relocation saga. They tend to go as a group, as a unit to some road games throughout the year and kind of get group sale tickets. And, you'll hear them in the broadcast. Famously during Clipper games, they get Light the Beam chants going in Staples Center. Really great group and has done some really great things. And so this year they were planning to do the trip that they always do every single year. I guess they had already booked one for the Blazers game later this year. And they said, you know what, let's do the Clipper trip again. And this is from a Twitter thread from Crown Downtown. They said, our next planned business trip is Kings at Clippers on 3/9. We had to delay the announcement because something strange happened, and then posted this thread. We were all set to buy our group tickets until we were told by the Clippers that they won't sell it to us. They said they love having us attend and have been great guests, but the reason given was that we take over their arena. We were told the financial decision came down to Steve Ballmer. Yes, Steve Ballmer made the decision to not allow group tickets to be sold to this group, and they say they're flattered. They have a section called the Wall on the Kings bench side. They tried to, and they bought their own tickets individually as they try and create their own wall. Their group is more motivated than ever to be louder and prouder, they say. We hope that the Sacramento Kings fans will sit with us or near us. We'll be Sacramento proud in a loud group in section Main 1. So if anybody's planning to go to that Clipper game, the Crown Downtown group will be in section Main 1. But the real news here is that Steve Ballmer's scared of the Kings fans. He is scared of the Kings fans. It's not that he didn't allow them to go to the game, and we should definitely clarify that.
Right.
It's not that he is saying, no, you guys aren't allowed. He is saying, no, we don't want you guys buying it in a group so that you guys essentially take over a portion of the stadium. For those who aren't aware, the Intuit Dome where the Clippers will be playing next year, Steve Ballmer has personally crafted this arena to be for the Clippers and not allow, they have the wall built on the opposing side basket to try and mimic like a soccer stadium and things like that. They are really trying to build this thing out so that it is a Clipper home game. And so this kind of, in a way, spits in the face of everything that Steve Ballmer wanted to create at Intuit Dome. But I think it's a bit excessive to not let a group like this buy a group of tickets so that they can, experience this game as a community.
Yeah, I would say, as much as this is a feather in the cap of Kings fans, I would imagine that this is not just happening with the Kings.
Probably not. Probably not.
There's probably at least, I would venture to say, maybe 5 to 7 teams where Ballmer is doing this.
Yeah.
I think the Warriors, Celtics, obviously the Lakers, which I don't even know what they can do with the Lakers. So it is a feather in the cap for the Kings to be in that conversation, a little NorCal, SoCal. But this is a Clippers problem, as I don't know if you saw yesterday, Chris. I mean, Chiefs Chargers.
Oh, I didn't even look at the crowd. No, I didn't even look at the crowd.
Did you see that stadium?
I didn't even think to.
It was red.
It doesn't surprise me, but I didn't even think to look.
So the Clippers, that is what he's trying to avoid. But I really,
especially in LA.
I honestly, it feels like, trying to find a needle in the haystack. I don't know how much it's going to help, but he's got to at least say, we tried.
Yeah.
We're trying. But shout out Kings fans for being on that list with some of the best fan bases that Steve Ballmer is literally scared of.
It's only going to make us louder.
Yeah, exactly. So we know what you're waiting for. And like I said, more people continuing to walk in. All right. We see Katie Christensen as well. The crew is really starting to appear. So hang with us to kind of fight through that time. We're going to get to some NFL, but we will, again, soon as somebody pops up, it's essentially like our breaking news banner. We will go right to them. So hang with us. Stiles and Watkins talking Kings, a little bit of NFL, and the players and coaches are about to pop up soon. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over 3-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting their focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports. KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Live from Kings Media Day.
It's the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports 1140.
And we're going to get into some NFL, but real quick, felt like we had to talk about this, Chris, as we are hoping that this Kings team will produce some greats. The NBA world and the world in general lost a great as Dikembe Mutombo passes away, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Star, and 3-time All-NBA. Just wanted to, just get everybody's thoughts on that and just give him his just due, because, you know, that those Allen Iverson teams, and that was when they were facing off against Kobe and the Lakers, Dikembe Mutombo, the famous finger wag. And with a lot of these guys, Chris, they talk about how good they are on the basketball court, but then everybody around them confirms that they're even better off of the court as the people that they are. So RIP to Dikembe Mutombo. We lost another great.
Yeah, I mean, definition of the term icon, right? Like, I mean, this is somebody who, like you said, I mean, off the floor is highly regarded as one of the nicest individuals, one of the most giving individuals in league history, somebody who's incredibly sweet and kind. And, you know, even though he would deny you and then wag his finger in your face, I mean, it was all love and competition. And I think he's obviously just one of the greats in this league, and a huge loss for the basketball community. Again, I talked about it when Bill Russell passed away. There's just not a lot of the NBA has been blessed by having life, honestly. I mean, there's so many NBA legends that are still with us today, as crazy as it is. I mean, there's really only a handful of the truly greats, as we lose Jerry West this summer as well. You know, they're kind of starting to, some of the original basketball goats are kind of starting to go away. Of course, Dikembe, like you said, played in the early 2000s, played in the 90s, was just an absolute monster of a player on the floor. And just a really sad loss for the NBA community. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Mutombo jerseys walking around town, all around the country, honestly, for the next couple weeks, because Dikembe, again, an icon, somebody who that Hawks jersey, man, that thing goes triple platinum at music festivals. His legacy lives on beyond his playing career, largely, I think, because of his celebration. But he had that iconic voice, you know, the deep, raspy voice that also was just, you know, a really kind man. And I think, again, just a huge loss for the basketball community.
Yeah. And his son said a few words as well, and you can go check that out. But wanted to just take some time to talk about the great player and great man that Dikembe Mutombo was. All right, Chris, as we are awaiting, and I think we're starting to see some of the maybe trainers or coaches, all these dudes, I mean, they're all 6'4" and up. So I'm thinking that coaches, the trainer, the assistants, they're all starting to pop out. Yeah. You know, they played somewhere. I don't know where, but they played somewhere. So we're definitely getting warmer. People are
Luke Laux on here.
Yeah, people are practicing the poses that they're going to ask the players to do as we have cameras flashing and things like that. So yeah, I mean, everybody is making Dave look normal size, so you can tell that we are getting
quite
close.
literally the calm before the storm.
Yes, the calm before the storm. So keep rocking with us. Let's get into a little bit of NFL.
Let's do it.
And what if I told you, Chris, look, the Niners game as a whole, I don't know how much I learned from it.
Oh boy,
to be completely honest with you. But Brock Purdy, I mean, that sequence where he scored 3 touchdowns, right? But only got
drive,
one with all the penalties. Brock Purdy, highest passer rating over the first 25 career starts since the merger. You have Kurt Warner at number 3, another great underdog story. Patrick Mahomes at number 2, and you have Brock Purdy at number 1, 112.6. Patrick Mahomes at 112.5. I mean, look, I know people continue to talk about nobody's talking about how good Brock Purdy actually is. Maybe I feel differently because we're in the Bay and that's all anybody talks about. But yeah, at this point, if there is anybody trying to downplay it, now the Avengers were back for the most part. Did have Debo back, did have Kittle back, and Kittle with the Hall of Fame.
Oh my gosh, that's getting played. That's
right. That's right. And did you see him do the? Yes, I mean he balled up his fist.
No one's having more fun.
No, but
no one's having more fun.
And I normally give George Kittle a hard time. I couldn't even hate on that. That was so impressive. And folks, as I say, people are walking in.
And as you say, impressive.
Freshly married Frankie Cartoscelli is here. We are going to try to get Frankie Cartoscelli. We need to zoom in on his ring.
Can we get
need
the
to
vows?
talk to Franco Cartoscelli. He will read us his vows as we get ready for the Kings. Frankie will be here covering as our lead editor for the media scrum that's going to happen a little bit later.
We're him now?
And
we'll do it now.
Yeah, we're going to do it. This is Frankie. You're helping us practice because this is how it's going to be. Chris and I are going to be in the middle of a conversation like this, and then somebody's going to pop up. So we are joined now. We're get the camera. Look at Nate working hard. Already got it. Frankie, you are a guinea pig for today.
This is like quite the legit setup. It's all credit to Nate Littlefield.
That's right. No, don't worry. We alady gave him kudos. You don't need to give him kudos.
The man behind the curtain now is in front of the curtain. So
that's right.
Very beautiful.
That's right.
Fellas, great to be here.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
How excited are you?
Just welcoming faces out there in Golden One Center. And now my 2 friendly faces here to welcome me in here. It's great to be on.
That's right. That's right. So, Frankie, let's just get it out the way. You were pretty busy this weekend, and we just want to say congrats to you and your lovely wife.
Yes.
You have, I mean, what a year for Frankie. Remember that show on VH1, Best Week Ever?
Yes,
I think Frankie might be having the best year ever. I mean,
love that
he's growing at the station. He's got Junior on the way.
Come on.
He just got married.
We'll see how the Yankees end this season.
The Yankees, the 1 seed. This is the guy.
Marriage, son on the way, but how are the Yankees?
That's right. They could blow all
They
of
could
this.
just ruin this. No, it was a great weekend up in Tahoe with some family and friends.
Awesome.
And nice close group and great weather, which apparently been bad up there for the couple weeks prior. It was a little rainy the last week, and 75 and sunny, beautiful, just no problems. And I think that's kind of the thing with weddings. Like there's always kind of a thing that pops up or an issue here and there.
Yeah, for sure.
We thankfully didn't really have anything that was an issue.
So right.
Got home in one piece, and now my life is set on that end. And baby boy coming in January.
There you go.
Kings coming next week with the Warriors in town. But
yes, sir.
How you guys feeling? Does it feel good to be here? Just kind of, I know we were in the office talking time and time again about off-season content, things we have to figure out to fill the feeds, to fill your guys, your log for the shows. It's over. Like off-season's done. We're here now. You get to talk to some players and kind of peel back the curtain on what they've been up to. How are you guys feeling as far as excitement goes for today's action?
I mean, it's my first one. Chris did it with Whitey last year and did a great job, by the way. I was essentially getting ready to audition for this role, right, when that was all going on. So that was really my first look at Chris as a host. So we've come full circle now. Yeah. So I'm just really excited to talk to everybody, right? We didn't think you'd be our first guest,
right?
But whoever our first Kings guest is, whether it's Mike Brown, and we've heard some things, we've seen Trey Lyles walking around, whoever it ends up being, I'm just excited to do the first one and get this thing rolling a little bit. And I think the expectations, man, I know last season there was a lot of talk of the championship culture. I'm curious as to what the culture vibe will be this season. Will it be stay out of the plan. Something I don't want to say more realistic, but something that seems more attainable. That's what I'm curious on.
Yeah. No, I mean, what media day number is this for you, Frank?
This is media day number 4, I think.
Yeah, I think I think we're probably on the same number. It's just the thing I'm looking is just figuring out what the vibe is. I mean, every single year when we come here, it feels like, it's a different energy. It's a different vibe. You ask the guy, hey, does it feel different? Does it feel the same? It's never the same. They always say, whether it be, HB's not here this year. I think that, something as small as that, or I guess you could say as big as that, really changes everything in terms of the emotion. I think every team has its own unique personality. And, I think this is kind of the first time we've been here since Sabonis got here where there's been like a big dog that gets thrown into the mix with DeRozan and just kind of attitude-wise, how does that change how this team feels coming into the season? That's what I think I'm looking forward to most today is just getting a good vibe for the energy that these guys are coming into camp with.
Yeah, I mean, and we've all been a part of this, franchise, whether it's been fans or media days or whatnot, and there's been dark clouds of time hanging over the organization. And
you remember Marvin Bagley Day, right?
I didn't want to name names, but we're going to
do it. Hey, he's out of this organization.
Uncertainty and disgruntled players, or I think the Buddy Hield contract dispute going in one fall. Lot of issues to kind of point to and kind of say what's going to be the problem that the media will have to address or questions want to be answered. I think right now it's more of good than bad, much more good than bad. There really isn't any bad at all. You have DeMar DeRozan coming in who, like you mentioned, HB, a huge veteran presence, but you have that veteran presence and now a player that's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday, someone who's going to probably finish his career as a top 10 scorer in NBA history. How is he going to mesh with this group? And you hear kind of the same things every year, which player comes in the best shape or which player was working on what in the offseason. But I'm just looking forward to kind of get that general sense of you can kind of sense general themes. What players are focusing on what aspect of the season. We saw time and time again over the past couple of years, whether it was Luke Walton when he was here, Mike Brown. Sometimes they don't want to kind of put expectations on a team. They don't want to say, well, we expect to be a top 4 seed. We expect to make the playoffs. Right. I think last year was the very first time that Mike Brown or someone that was in that head coaching seat said, we want to make the playoffs. The year before, let's keep building. I think Jordi Fernandez just had a quote today in Brooklyn saying that they don't want to skip any steps in developing Brooklyn back into a postseason contender. I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys say today because postseasons, that's a given. But do they have higher aspirations than that?
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have a timeline where you accelerated through and you were a 3 seed kind of out of nowhere. Then you fall back this past season. So where do you fall? Do you fall, hey, we want to just pick up from where we left off and get to the second round? Or is it just we want to get back to the playoffs, which we didn't do last season? I mean, I think the bottom line is, as far as expectations are concerned, you have to make the playoffs. And as players, it's a little bit different because there's always going to be a team that needs a Keegan Murray or somebody like that. That's more so from the Monty McNair and Mike Brown standpoint. You got to get into the playoffs this season. I think that is kind of the not cloud because you want to be successful, but I don't think there's any doubt about
like
it.
Like an elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. There's no doubt about it that you need to make the playoffs.
From a talent standpoint, they have what it takes to get it done. But we have to see it happen on the floor, obviously.
All right, folks, we have our first player coming out, not necessarily with us, but they're starting to pop out.
Look at that, man.
Do not want to go anywhere. I think Brandon on the YouTube saw who it was. We will let you know. We just got the schedule in our hands, so we will keep you in the loop. Frankie, thank you so much for getting us warmed up.
Thank
you enjoy the rest of your day, and check out all of Frankie's work on SacktownSports.com and follow him on social media. We will be right back, and I'll like to tease what's going to happen next, but maybe nobody quite knows. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices. .net.
Sacramento Kings Media Day
on Sacktown Sports 1140.
We're back. Stiles and Watkins. And like we said, if you're watching on YouTube, you may or may not have seen the second player to pop out, one Trey Lyles. And we hope to talk to Trey Lyles about just the wing-driven league, how his groin is doing, how that's all progressing. Saw him working out earlier, Chris. He was running on the treadmill, so we do like to see that.
Definitely.
We definitely like to see
He's
that.
mobile.
As we look, here's the deal, guys, and if you know Stiles and Watkins, you know we like to pull back the curtain and be very transparent with our audience. We do have a schedule. Okay, a word that we've heard a lot these past 5 years. This thing can be fluid, so we don't want to tell you a name and then it's a different person or whatever the case is. So we are just hanging on, but we do have a schedule in hand, and we are kind of filling time.
Oh, and I see
trying to see when somebody will pop up.
I see them about to pop out.
Okay,
So
Chris can see somebody,
Yeah.
so we might be
we're on
getting
schedule.
started here with everything. Again, Stiles and Watkins, if you are new to the show, thank you for joining us. 10 a.m., 2 p.m. every single day here on Sacktown Sports, the only place you are going to get this media day coverage, and also where you can see your Sacramento Kings every single day.
That's right. We have our first guest walking up here. How's it going, Keon?
What's up, Keon? Alan, good to meet you.
Good to have you on, Keon. Appreciate you. All right.
All right. We are joined by the one, the only Keon Ellis getting it started for us. Keon, thank you so much for joining us, man. How excited are you to get this season started off right?
Very excited. I mean, it's been a long summer, things get real repetitive, the workouts playing against each other. So I think the long break definitely, builds up that anticipation to get to going at another team now. So it's here now. So
yeah, sure. And we were just talking about HB's not going to be here. Also, Lindsey Harding's not going to be here. I know you spent a good amount of time with Lindsey through your time in the G League. What's it going to be like to not have both HB here and not have Lindsey here either?
Yeah, it'll be a different look, obviously, but wishing a lot of success to both of those guys. So but yeah, it'll be different. HB had that veteran presence for us. So especially for me as well, my first year coming in, he definitely helped me with a lot of things. And Lindsay, she was my coach as well. So definitely we'll be missing them. But just gotta kind of handle business still. So and they'll do the same. So it'll all be good.
Awesome.
Talking to Keon Ellis. Keon, last season, maybe not to you because we know the work that you put in, but you were a bit of a surprise, right, to a lot of the people that don't follow the Kings. And even if you did follow the Kings, this season, you have some expectations, right? You played really well in that play-in game and just throughout the season. How has that transition been from, hey, I just want my shot in the league to, hey, Keon, you're coming in this season and we're going to need some production for you. How has that transition been?
Honestly, I can't really give you an answer. I think just because it all happened so quick, the not having any expectations to getting thrown out there and then, catching some odds. And then now it's like, okay, so give them another shot. And then, the success kind of continues. So never really had a chance to kind of just like ease it out. Like it was more so just you jump straight into it and like, hey, you're here. So I don't know. I never really got kind of or was able to take a step back and kind of look at it. It's always just been, you're in it. So just kind of have to just jump up to the level of play. So, but it's definitely been good, obviously getting the opportunity and, just trying to go out there and do my best to help the team. So, it's been crazy, but kind of like you said now with the expectations and things. So, honestly, I don't look at it any different. I'll just kind of still try to go out there and do my best to make the team look good, make myself, my teammates look good. So, nothing will change in my approach. So, but obviously I know that people kind of know me more now. So things will be a little different, but I mean, it's basketball. So I think I'll be all right.
How do you think your time in the G League kind of helped you transition to the NBA a little bit easier?
In the G League, I definitely think it helped me get back to the way I used to play. Like obviously in college, I was a system player, but in the G League, it was like more so, okay, we're going to let you, play your game more. And then, so, you get more reps to do the things that you you're capable of doing. So obviously with the Kings, you'll be at a lesser role. So I think that first year of playing a lot in the G League definitely just helped me get comfortable and, you know, try to feel things out while also getting like a few minutes with the big team. So I definitely think that was big for me just to have that confidence going into those games when I would get called up or whatever. So I definitely think that helped.
Talking to Keon Ellis. Keon, we were watching in Summer League, and some of the things that it appeared like you were working on, your playmaking, but not just your playmaking. Obviously, your calling card has been the defense. Now, there were a couple games where I don't think you can foul out. There are a lot of fouls in the G League.
Yeah.
You definitely look like you were taking advantage of that,
Sure.
whether it's Summer League or the actual games. Where is that balance of I want to push the line to see, I want to kind of set the tone here with the refs, but I don't want to blink and have 3 fouls. So how do you balance the aggressiveness but not going too far? Because in Summer League, you definitely said, I'm going to see where this line is quickly.
Yeah, no, in Summer League, I definitely knew. I think the game that you're talking about, I think we had that game kind of handled. So I was just like, oh, well, I'm going to be ultra aggressive on defense. Like, we get 10 of them.
Yeah.
If it's 10, so I'm ultra aggressive. Like, if they're going to call it, they're going to have to call it. Like, So, definitely in that setting, I was way more like, you know, I'm reaching at everything, trying to get, you know, see what I can get. But in a real game, I think you kind of just got to know, like, you're guarding other team's top guys. So it's like they're already going to give them calls anyway.
Right.
So it's like you just got to kind of know when to kind of be aggressive and when to not. Like, if a guy's taking a tough shot, you might not want to, you know, be overly aggressive in your contest because it's like, okay, if that's a tough shot, he might miss it, but if you foul him, you know, now you get him to the line, he gets a rhythm going. So kind of just got to know when to be aggressive and when to take your chance at maybe getting a steal or a block or something like that.
I know you talked about it a bit during Summer League, but, you know, you had a great end to your season last year. I think there was a lot, you know, you were starting games and had the great playing game. Were you a bit surprised to kind of get into the Summer League action, or were you just kind of taking it in stride and whatever they said, you know, they wanted you to do, you were there for it?
No, I kind of knew that. Going into the summer, you know, Mike put me to the side. He was like, yeah, we'll probably let you play in Summer League just to, you know, kind of explore your game more, you know, get comfortable doing the things that I won't do as much when, you know, when the whole teams are here. So, I kind of knew from the jump that I would play in Summer League. Probably wouldn't play the whole Summer League, but, I knew I would be able to go out there and kind of just expand on my game a little bit.
Keon Ellis, thank you so much for joining us, man. Good luck this season. We are looking forward to everything you bring to the table offensively and defensively. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Keon Ellis, the one, the only, and we are seeing some questions come through about Keon. Seems like he is a bit of a gamer. Didn't get to those questions, but
man.
I'm sure he would love to chat with everybody about how he does his gaming thing.
Dude, it's crazy. He's like
He's
live.
nice.
He's live streams his games. He's out here, you know, going crazy. You would think, you know, he's a, you know, I make fun of Jared McCain for being a professional TikToker.
Right.
I mean, Keon's got a career in streaming if he wants it.
Okay.
He's been cooking online.
All right. Yeah. Everybody is bringing up all the games that I don't play, but I know you know about that. So that's great stuff from Keon Ellis. And this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you just never know who's going to pop up. That's why you can't go anywhere. And we'll see who we have next. You know, Chris, the big thing that I thought Keon really laid out is the fact that he never really changed his approach.
Okay.
Right. Or he hasn't changed his approach. We know that, you know, he went from a G League story to now all of a sudden he's, you know, doing this at the highest level on a national stage. Yeah. So to be able to not change anything there, that is great stuff. But we got to get to a break. When we come back, who knows who will be next? We have our list. We see guys walking around like Jaylen McDaniels, Jordan McLaughlin, all these guys are walking around. So we will continue to feed you what you need. Stiles and Watkins, the only place you are getting this type of media day coverage is Sacktown Sports. We'll be right back.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Shop fall savings at Big O Tires now through October 13th and buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock tires with installation and alignment purchase on all 4 tires. And with plenty of inventory now in stock, Big O has the tires to fit almost every car, SUV, and light truck on the road. Don't miss the buy 3, get 1 tire free sale this week. Offer good while supplies last. Disposal fees extra. Not valid with other offers. See participating Big O dealer for details.
She used to meet me on that side.
Khalid, live in concert. See him performing at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the sensational Khalid for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. For more, visit KhalidOfficial.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
It's Kings season.
Sacramento Kings Media Day on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Thank you again to one Keon Ellis. Now he is making his way. He's doing the photo shoot now.
That's right.
So shout out Keon. We are anxiously awaiting our next guest as, Chris, Keon, to me, to go from where he was and now be in the conversation of, are you going to be a starting 2 guard on a team we think is going to make the playoffs? He literally said it himself. Essentially, life comes at you fast. Yeah. Right. He said he really doesn't have time to think about it. And maybe it's better that way, right? You can see people get in their head when you, I was supposed to do this and I was supposed to do that. And really, he just says, I haven't had time to even think about stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, you'd imagine with him, I almost forgot he played Summer League until he mentioned it. That's not a lot of downtime. I know he's spent a good time of his time after Summer League as well here in Sacramento, getting in work. You see people posting on the Kings social medias. Keon's in the gym all the time. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I'm sure he hasn't really gotten much of any break, and it's really justified too. I mean, he's got a really big season in front of him. He's got an opportunity that frankly might not pop up again in his career. If he doesn't take this opportunity that's in front of him, which I think we all believe he's more than capable of doing so. Starting spots don't just come around the league, and it's one of those things where when you're labeled a starter,
right,
you kind of are a starter until somebody makes it really tough to continue to play you in that spot. And I think it's a really big opportunity for Keon to grab that role from this team. And, I'm excited if we do talk to Mike Brown, like, what is that 2-guard position going to look like in terms of the battle for these guys? So, it's a really big season for Keon, and good to hear that, I guess in a way, he's still as focused as he was last year, really hasn't taken much time off to kind of let his foot off the gas.
Yeah. And really, and don't worry, when we get Mike Brown, we definitely will just ask him straight up, what's the thought process going into training camp? He's been going to a lot of high school football games. So is this going to be a old school, high school tryout for number 2? Do you have any ideas going into camp with what it will be, but somebody could win? Because let's not forget, I mean, Chris, we haven't talked about this guy in a very long time as it pertains to the 2 position. I mean, how many calls did we have to take last season about Malik Monk starting?
Sure.
And that's another guy who, is in a different position, because if he does play well, does that just mean, you played so well, we have to keep you at the 6, at the 6-man position? Or is it a situation where, let's get all the talent. Let's see what Keon looks like. Let's see what Kevin Huerter looks like. Kevin Huerter, Monty McNair talked about Kevin Huerter playing 3, and maybe he is bulking up a little bit. So I think that everything is on the table, going into camp, which is exactly what you want to see. I mean, this season so far, Chris, obviously it's my second season with the Kings, really seems like it's turning out to be the antithesis of last season, where last season everybody felt a little bit stuck because of the Beam team, and hey, we got to roll out with essentially the same team. There were a couple additions, but the core was the core. There is some shaking around going this go round, and there's definitely some things to pay attention to as we don't, we talk about NBA preseason and how much does that matter, and training camp. There are definitely things to keep an eye on this go round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so much that I think we're gonna just kind of get the first look at today, and I think these guys are going to come in with the right attitude, right mindset. I think a lot of these guys are really hungry for success this year. I think, like you said, I mean, I think everybody kind of felt a little bit of running it back, a little bit of the sameness in terms of the energy around the team and what really would be different. I mean, it was tough to be different when you're pretty much bringing back the same cast. This year could be completely new, man. I mean, we talked about last season, the offense looking stagnant at points and things like that. I think that it's going to be a long, long journey for this team to try and figure out what exactly is the thing that they're going to be great at. Are we going to see the return of the Kings being a top-level offense? Are we going to see a return to them being a bottom-level defense?
Right.
I think it's going to be an interesting finding out identity period for these guys to try and figure out, okay, what is our identity going to be this year, and how do we put guys in situations to really accentuate what we do well?
Yeah. And the main thing for me is literally how high is your ceiling? I think that the DeMar DeRozan situation fixed the floor question to me, but how high is that ceiling going to be? But we are, anxiously awaiting our second guy. So we'll switch back to some Kings when he pops up.
Sure.
And I'm sure, just like Vegas, we're going to start talking about Brock Purdy again or something on the Niners end, and then all of a sudden they're going to show up, which we will definitely be okay with as well. But as we discussed, I mean, Brock Purdy putting up numbers, Chris, similar to better passer rating, better than one Patrick Mahomes, doing things that we haven't seen since Steve Young on the football field. Speaking of most passing yards in a QB's first 25 career starts in franchise history, you have number 2, Jeff Garcia, and you have number 1, Brock Purdy. So what he is doing, I mean, you can't really talk about it enough. they're starting to get healthier. You get Debo. I thought Kittle was going to play. I really didn't think, because it didn't even end up being a couple weeks, right?
Nope.
Because Debo, he only missed 1 week.
Right.
So
Yep.
you get Debo back. The Avengers are back. The Infinity Stones are almost back. Christian McCaffrey, there's Christian McCaffrey news.
He's supposed to play today, right? He's supposed to start practicing today or ramping up?
Yeah, he's ramping up and looks like he'll be back, they believe, or hoping in November. So, yeah, I mean, all's well. Ricky Pearsall. So it's a week-to-week league here with the Niners and the NFL in general, because to go from what we just saw to now having the conversation of, hey, are they back, or, is everything going to be good? Seems like all is well in Ninerville, even though to me the Patriots win is whatever, because I think the Patriots are terrible.
Yeah.
But
they showed it. Right, Jacoby?
Real quick on the Patriots front. You think that's it for Jacoby Brissett? You think you just say, like, this is the argument about the sit a guy. Because the question has always been, does it matter who they're sitting behind?
Right.
Because Drake May, no disrespect, you might be learning something from Jacoby Brissett as far as how to go about preparation and media day and things like that. But you're just not going to convince me that Drake May is learning anything from Jacoby Brissett. And maybe that's a terrible take, but you're not going to convince me that Drake May is going to be a better quarterback or a worse quarterback from watching Jacoby Brissett play football for the next, I don't know, 12 weeks. You're just not going to convince me of that.
Yeah, I think the conversation of Drake May's development is kind of, I don't want to say it's a separate one, but it's just not really like, I think it's more of, I use the example of, I mean, look at how the Colts performed this week with Joe Flacco out there. They look years better than they do with my guy Anthony Richardson. And I think Carolina as well has looked a lot better with Andy Dalton under center than Bryce Young than they ever did with Bryce Young under center. And I think that maybe that's the thought process if you are New England. The problem is Jacoby Brissett is not producing like those Joe Flaccos and like the Andy Dalton. And that's where you kind of start to lose the side that might say, well, yeah, but, like you said, Drake May's getting experience and, it's better for the team. And what good is Drake May going to do getting sacked all these times instead of Jacoby Brissett? But I don't think that the Patriots are benefiting really from having Jacoby Brissett out there. Yes, he probably is a better quarterback than Drake May is right here, right now. But I just don't feel like the Patriots themselves are getting much out of the offense with Brissett out there. And I feel like you might as well throw him out there. It's not a matter of, oh yeah, it's okay, he's making mistakes and things. I just feel like it's at the time where you are definitely justified. And I don't think the Patriots have much plans for success this year anyway. You might as well, at this point, to me, throw him out there, or at least start to really consider throwing him out there. As Gerard Mayo said, after training camp, he thought Drake May was the better quarterback. So I don't see why not.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. Hey, two separate entities. What are we going to do as a team? And Drake May developing it really, regardless of who that QB is, right? That he's sitting behind. What you're developing isn't so much. I think a lot of people see what I'm talking about is when people see Jordan Love, who I left on my bench, by the way, because I thought he was questionable.
Well, he still threw 3 picks. I will say.
It was
Everyone's going to talk about the 4
fantasy
touchdowns.
points. It was a 34 pick. I got Jared Goff tonight, so that's my problem.
Okay. That is a problem.
You look at the Jordan Loves of the world who sat behind Brett Favre, and then you have Patrick Mahomes who sat behind Alex Smith, and it's more about the similarities, but yeah, it's tough. Well, we're getting the break signal from Nate. We are going to try to go to break now and get someone on the other side. Again, it's going to be a surprise, but we look to have this Sacramento King interviewed by your own Stiles and Watkins. When we return, Sacktown Sports, only place to get this type of media day coverage. We'll be right back.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing.
I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Sacramento Kings Media Day
on Sacktown Sports 1140.
We're back. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. and all your favorite media members are filling in as there will be a media scrum. What time is the media scrum, Chris?
I think they're going to start. No, I think they're going to start in about 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And then, I think the scrums are just going to continue throughout our show. And, for anyone who is looking for as much Kings coverage as possible from today, not only will you have us doing our live interviews. To our left immediately, the morning show is recording their interviews. And then to the left of them, we'll have Brennan and Frankie recording the entire media scrum. So
that's right.
Whatever you want, however you want it, we are going to provide it today.
But as far as exclusive live interviews while Media Day is happening, there's only one station.
That's right.
And one show.
That's right.
That's got that for you. And that is Stiles and Watkins. Real quick, Chris, as we await our next guest.
Looks like they're coming up soon.
Real quick, as we kill some time as they're walking, Jimmy Butler, I think he's heard the message loud and clear from Pat Riley. The last couple of years he had the long braid dread
emo
things.
look.
Then after that he had the emo look. But Jimmy Butler, just with his normal
we have reports
cornrows.
from today?
Today,
oh,
yes.
That's him?
He is not messing around today.
No fun.
You're not into that?
Fun. Okay. No, I like the emo look. I like the, people talk about him, getting the lock extensions and everything.
Right.
He went barefaced that day too. And so he looked hilarious.
Right.
I'm all for the antics. Media Day is it's a great opportunity. Your face is going to get shown, when they do the TNT starting fives and things like that. This is the image that they're going to use to show your face. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for some guys to do some memes, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen today. How's it going, Trey?
We are joined now.
Man. Thank you.
How you doing? By Trey Lyles of your Sacramento Kings. We're getting Trey set up with everything. Like we said, we'd be mid-conversation, so we decided to kill some time talking about Jimmy Butler's hairstyle. Trey Lyles, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Sir, thanks for having me.
Now,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna just get this out the way now. Trey, I normally don't ask this question within the first line of meeting another man, but how's the groin doing?
No,
How's
we're
the groin?
good.
Okay.
We're headed in the right direction.
Okay,
We're good.
great.
Good. How was your summer so far?
It was good. You know, it was quick. It was busy. Lots of basketball.
Yeah, sure. How was
Travel.
the Olympic experience?
It was good. You know,
Yep.
I'm glad I did it. New experience for me. First time in France.
Sure.
First time playing in the Olympics and being a part of that and seeing other athletes and stuff like that. So it was cool.
Yeah.
You have Jordy going over to Brooklyn. What do you think Jordy is going to bring to that Brooklyn team, and what are you going to miss from Jordy being out here in Sacramento with you?
I think he'll bring a lot of structure over there. You know, a lot of hard work, a lot of teaching those guys, and they have a young team, so I think he'll fit in, and he's able to vibe with the players and kind of know what's going on. So it's always helpful when you have a coach like that. I answered the same question earlier. You know, Jordy was our defensive guy and kind of just like always a guy that was challenging us. Not to say that Mike wasn't, but just more so defensively. He was always, trying to teach us, trying to have us learn, trying to be better. He was always, film, talking, which is, what we needed and stuff like that. So we're going to miss that. But obviously, knowing Mike and knowing a couple of the other coaches, that void's going to be filled, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You said that was your first time in Paris?
Yeah. First time in France.
Yeah. Well, how was that? What was your favorite part of just kind of being around the city?
Paris was amazing. It's a beautifully architecturally designed city.
Sure.
I love cities I'm able to walk through and just do random stuff. So that was perfect being over there for that. Obviously didn't stay as long as we wanted to, but it was a good trip. It was a nice city, good food, nice restaurants.
For sure.
Went to a couple museums, which was fun.
Oh, nice.
So that was cool.
Nice.
Here talking to Trey Lyles. Trey, a lot of people talk about the forward depth on this team, and it's been a talking point. Only 4 forwards on the team with Keegan, Jaylen, now DeMar, and yourself. What do you expect your role to look like this season? Are you more of a, I'm just going to do my job and see what happens? Do you talk to coach about it? How do you approach all of that?
Coach does a thing where he gives every player on the team a role at a certain point during the season. So, once I get my role, which I pretty much, I think it's pretty similar, to last year, and I'm one of those guys, I've said it before, where I'm gonna control what I can control, which is my energy and my effort.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go out there and do that and try to step up in more ways. And like I said it earlier, my thing this year is just being available. Last year I wasn't available a lot, which was tough on me, tough on the team, I think, in certain instances, and then trying to get back into it at the end of the season, obviously it wasn't the best idea. So just being available, being healthy, going out there and obviously doing what the team needs me to do, which I'm okay with, whatever that is, and I just want to win. So yeah, I'm good with whatever.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, someone like you, I mean, you kind of play a really unique role. You're asked to play out on the perimeter offensively, a little bit defensively too, but you're also asked to kind of be sometimes a backup 5 and maybe a stretch 5, or at least bang down in the post. How tough is that, like, during the summer on your body to just kind of find that perfect middle ground of being able to stay mobile but still be strong and physical enough to kind of bang around in the post?
I think it's pretty easy.
Really?
I haven't struggled with it. I haven't struggled with it probably since my second or third year. And I think that comes with age, just getting stronger naturally, being able to guard bigger guys just from naturally getting stronger. And then, offensively, being able to play on the perimeter, that's just workouts. That's just continuing to shoot a lot, shoot off the move a lot, and just be out there and doing that. So it's not hard for me to do that. Obviously, I think I excel a little bit in the stretch 5 role for our team and stuff like that. So it's something that I've told coaches, I've told our coach, I told Mike, I've told everybody else, if that's what they need from me, I'm more than capable. So yeah.
From the Canadian team that you played with this summer, you had Shea on that team. You had Jamal Murray, NBA champions, to now having DeMar DeRozan join this team. How are you soaking in being around a lot of this elite talent and talent that has kind of been where the Kings are trying to go?
No, I think it's great. I played with Jamal early in his career. I played with DeMar in San Antonio. So, these are guys that I'm used to being around. I've played with a lot of great individual players and been on some good teams. So I think us, acquiring DeMar is just going to help take us to that next level. Whereas games last year where we were losing, down the stretch, we have a guy like him who's experienced. Not to say that De'Aaron and Domas aren't capable either, because they're more than capable. But having another option to go to for us as a team is just going to accelerate us that much more in those games in certain situations, and hopefully we won't even be in those because of these guys.
Yeah.
What are you guys hoping to accomplish this year? Like, what do you think this team is really capable of?
I mean, I think it's the same thing every year. You know, guys want to make the playoffs. Of course. You know, that's the number one thing. But I think we're capable of a lot. You know, that first year that we had Mike, we were really, you know, surprising a lot of people. And I think that if we could get back to that style of playoff, just running and just getting out there and playing together and playing, you know, like that, I think you know, the sky's the limit for us. We have the depth, we have the players, we have the scoring, we have, you know, the ability to play defense when we really lock in. We showed that last year, and I think we'll continue to do that this year. So it's really just up to us, you know. Well, you know, how far we take it.
Yeah.
Trey Lyles, thank you so much for joining us. Trey Lyles of your Sacramento Kings.
Thanks,
can't wait. Good luck this season, man. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Trey. Appreciate it, man.
That was Trey Lyles of your Sacramento Kings. Great stuff from Trey, talking about his summer, talking about, you know, playing with DeMar DeRozan, even back in San Antonio to now, Jamal Murray. Yeah. Great stuff going there. And we are getting notes from Nate. So as we kind of take those notes and run with them, Chris, what were your initial takeaways from what we heard from Trey?
First off, I wish I could be Trey Lyles. I asked him, you know, how tough is it to keep your body like, and he's like, man, that's easy. That's easy. I mean, you know, and I was not expecting that answer. You know, I think I was kind of giving him a little bit of an avenue to complain a little bit or talk about how tough it is to, you know, stay, you know, because I'd imagine you have to be almost at a perfect weight range or a size range when you're playing when you're a guy like Trey, you know, again, having to keep up on the perimeter, but still having to be asked to go against some of these bigger guys. And he said it's easy for him. So I think that's great. A lot was made last offseason. The thing that kind of triggered me to ask that was last offseason, a lot was made of him losing a lot of weight to come into camp and wondering, hey, was that something that you were instructed to do? Is this your own initiative? Is this kind of where you want to take your own career? And, you know, I think it's really interesting to me how these guys take control and take care of their bodies over the summer. And Trey looks great. I mean, he looks like he's in the same shape he would have been in last year. And, I mean, that was just a bit of a surprise to me. And, you know, again, kind of like I said with Keon, forgetting he was in Summer League, I forgot that Jordy coached him with his Olympic experiences. So kind of getting that little bit of extra goodbye farewell time from Jordy. I think that he's about as Trey, that is about as good of an insight as you're going to get into what Jordy really brings to a team. And haven't heard anything from Brooklyn. Frankie said he had heard something out of the Brooklyn media day so far, but I'm excited to hear what Jordy is going to bring to that Brooklyn team.
Yeah, and for me to start the conversation on Trey's groin, I had to make sure I did it in a way. I had to.
That's
we just
just
power
not
through.
a normal thing to ask
I just
somebody,
powered
so
through.
You had to.
I gotta
and you had to ask the question.
What, Nate?
It's just out of the gate is
you
crazy.
had to. No, you had to.
What do you mean out of the gate is crazy?
Well, it's funny how you preface
you want to warm
You're
him
like,
up?
one man to another. Like, I wouldn't normally do this, but
right.
How's the groin?
The
theater
funny
of it all.
Well, I said this normally wouldn't be my first line to another man. So normally it's my fifth. Normally, you know, it's not.
Normally
it's not that I don't
I
talk
like
about
to warm you
groins.
up.
Before
I get
I mean,
there.
I could have said, I could have talked about, hey, I pulled my groin before, but luckily we didn't go
How's
down
your
that
Achilles?
path.
I can talk about that.
I don't think
there's a lot.
two guys talking about their groin is any
My
better.
groin is
so
good. How's
I
your
think-
groin
no,
going? You know,
no,
so
I think I think we did the right thing.
But Trey
feel like
was
we had the right
a good sport on everything.
Yeah.
And sounds like he had a lot of fun out there in Paris, man. You know, we were talking to Tristy Rodriguez. She was out in Europe. I mean, I'm thinking, where was the Europe trip giveaway?
Missed it.
I need something, man.
Missed it. I completely missed it.
I'm leaving here with something. I can tell you that much.
Come on. Yeah. I mean, how about that? I can't imagine. You know, I mean, the Olympics is probably one of the only times that you can be 6'8", 6'9", and just probably walk around town still. I mean, I think that's cool for him. And, you know, I'm sure he's going to talk a little bit more about his Olympic journey. And, you know, it's tough. You know, he kind of said it a couple different times there to peel back the curtain. He's like, I answered this over there. That's going to be where you and I try and really flex our muscles here. Is we got to try and get an interview or multiple interviews where we can get guys saying, "Oh, I haven't been asked that one," or "Hey, that's actually a good question."
That's right.
I can imagine, especially with the scrum, if we get these guys after their media scrum, there's going to be a lot of repetitiveness today.
Look, but you know me, we can go off the rails.
We can definitely
go off the rails.
Start asking
the
about
good
muscle
thing is
milk and
we
things
got
like
Keon
that.
first.
Yes.
Okay, first before anything else. So that one. That helped, but yeah, and whoever we get next, yes, and we are taking fan questions as well. Sack Chat, I have the text line up here as well. If anybody pops in and wants to say something else, and of course on Twitter you can catch Chris and myself. You can throw in. Somebody did throw in a question for one Kevin Huerter. It looks like, again, things can change.
Very fluid.
Looks like the morning show will be getting Kevin Huerter, but again, things can change just in case. But
by the way,
to that person,
Kevin Huerter walking around, no headband, no shooting sleeve, no leg sleeves, nothing.
Sick haircut, though.
We got a bare Kevin Huerter walking around here. I wonder if that's going to stick. I wonder if maybe he's like, last season,
got to switch up the vibe.
Juju kind of messed up a little bit. Maybe, you switch it up and you see, these guys are very, very superstitious sometimes. And it wouldn't surprise me if Kevin gets asked about it, if it is as simple as, last year didn't quite go my way, decided to switch it up and go in no headband this year. No shooting sleeves, kind of psycho. I can't lie.
I got a question for you, though. So I know when I played basketball, I think when most people played basketball, you have a free throw routine.
Yeah.
If you are not a good free throw shooter, do you ever question the routine or do you power through? Because I wasn't a very good free throw shooter, but it never even crossed my mind to change my routine because it was my routine.
Right.
But it's the same idea.
Yeah, I would guess you don't, because if that's how you are with a routine, I can't imagine how bad you would be if you're just letting it fly. But there's also the argument of kind of a little bit. He, would put his hand perfectly in his fingertips, but not in his palm. And it's definitely a good question for sure, because they're very superstitious. It's one of either they blame the routine fully and say, yes, I need to change my routine, or they say, I'm a creature of habit. I spent my entire life doing this free throw routine. I'm going to continue to do it until the wheels fall off. I would imagine that these guys are pretty locked in, especially at this point. I mean, they're late 20s, some of these guys early 30s. You've been doing the same routine your whole life. I don't think they're going to switch it up now.
Coming up next, we continue on Kings Media Day. Who will pop up next? We will find out shortly and have that person for you. Trying to get confirmation from Nate.
Oh, okay.
Nate is saying to not.
Wow.
What
a special show today.
And Nate loves this, doesn't he?
Any power over Allen.
Getting to tell me what to do.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't like this very much.
I mean, I usually do. It's just not as forefront, And you don't always listen. I hit the Dame time clock.
Yeah.
And sometimes don't even do it. And you go, Nate's giving me the Dame time.
Sometimes I go over on time just to spite Nate.
Yeah.
It feels like, oh, no, I know. I very much know. And,
yeah. It's really funny.
Nate's really in his element today. He's in charge of us today. I told Nate before the show, I was like, Nate, you tell us to break, we're breaking. You tell us not to break, we'll keep going until you tell us to. So, Nate's giving us the instruction not to break.
I did see Fox too.
Really?
I saw,
he's out here walking around.
I saw him sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky little fox, little sly fox.
You guys mentioned Gentry, Alvin Gentry.
Yeah, I saw him walking around. Yeah,
but this is my question.
And then behind you guys, the vest made a sighting too.
Really?
But he'll be with the morning guys, so you have to check that out tomorrow.
Okay,
there you go.
All right.
But here's my question now. Obviously, we're gonna ask. And look, this is a community show, okay? So I'm not just asking Nate. I'm talking to everybody that's listening on the Sacktown Sports app, on AM, on YouTube. So this is what I'm thinking now. If we want to make our mark here, okay, are we going? Obviously, we have basketball questions, okay, at the top.
Yeah.
Do we start ending these conversations with, hey, if you were stranded on an island, you could pick one king, one teammate.
Oh, one teammate. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Who would you want to be stranded with?
That's a good one.
Do we go down?
That's
Do we
a good
go
one.
down? Because if we want to go down this road, we can go down this road.
Because we tried to do this during Super Bowl too, to an extent, and yeah,
it just got out of hand in the Super Bowl because everything's
but there's more cohesion.
Jabberwockies.
But there's more cohesion here. Yeah, there was Jabberwockies and
Right.
Like,
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, and fake Andy Reid. I mean, there was just
Right, I
this.
forgot.
There was more cohesion.
Tommy DeVito's agent.
Tommy DeVito's who
agent.
loved me, by the
Yeah,
way.
love you.
So when we get, I think that's what we're doing. Any returning guy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And we can
Desert
open
Island
this up
question.
to the listeners as well. You got a question, a non-basketball question, so we can put our stamp with these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Hop in the chat. Hop on the text line 916-339-1140, and we will see if there's a good enough one to break through. If there's one better than our Desert Island one, we'll figure it out. All right.
That's kind of the theme of like a social media theme question. I will say I really wanted to do the thing where we bring old school pictures of these guys and show it to them. That's probably my favorite social trend right now. But I figure the Kings will probably be on top of it. So
coming up next, more Kings Media Day. Who will pop up?
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live from Kings Media Day.
It's Stiles and Watkins
On Sacktown Sports 1140.
I mean, I got friends that live around here, family like 45 minutes away, so it's all good. It's all love.
Nice. Yeah, we saw that video of you kind of learning that you were coming to Sacramento over the summer. It looked like you were maybe working out. What happened kind of immediately after that camera turned off and everything was settled?
Well, I talked to my agent or whatever, found out I was really getting traded, and I was back to working out.
Man,
honestly, I was like, yeah, we done. Like, my trainer was like, nah, like, we still got more to do because I stopped the workout for like 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, so we done? He's like, nah. So that's all that really happened. Talked to my agent. And
Nice. Yeah.
Jaylen, coming from Toronto, you're going to get a bit of a fresh start here in Sacramento. And, you know, Trey Lyles, we just talked to Trey with his groin injury. There's one thing that we've been asking for in Sacramento, and that's wings. So to get somebody like you out here, does it feel like you're getting a bit of a fresh start and an opportunity to show what you can do?
Yeah, for sure. It's a brand new, fresh start. You know, I'm excited about it. Glad to be here. I just can't wait to play and just go show what I can really do out there. You feel me? So I feel like this fresh start is perfect for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think last season in Toronto didn't really go well for the entire team, really.
Yeah.
What do you kind of feel like you can take from that situation to take to this situation and make sure, you know, like the wheels don't kind of fall off here?
You know, I just know it's going to be adversity, like in your career or whatever you go through. So, I mean, that was mine just last year, not really playing a lot, like struggling or whatever.
Sure.
But just here, just turning my grind up more, and then during the summer and just knowing, getting back to that player that I can be playing a lot of minutes, helping the team win, stuff like that. So that's what I feel like I can bring to the team.
Yeah, for sure.
With your brother, talking to Jaylen McDaniels, with your brother doing his thing in Minnesota, huge trade, by the way, going on over there. Give us a look into kind of how that relationship is, and with the big leap that he made last season. Are you guys in contact, you know, working out together prior to when you were in the league, and now give us a look at how that relationship works?
We talk like every day, pretty much. We don't talk all day, but we talk every day. You feel me? We check in on each other, play the game, stuff like that. I mean, like when he has rough times during the season, you know, we'll talk to each other like, bro, it's a long season. Like can't get hot over one game and stuff like that. So I feel like he's learned a lot with that and just growing, and he's getting older. So you feel me? It's like, really, I can't really say, like, he's just finding his way. You know, he asks me for stuff
for sure
here and there. So I'm just letting him go find his way, you know, but whenever he needs my advice or I need his, we chop it up.
Yeah.
So, and it's cool to have somebody going through it with you. Like 82 games is a long season, you know. So to hit my brother and be like, bro, you good? Like, how you doing? And then he do the same to me. You know, it's helpful. So
yeah,
I'm sure you get asked this question all the time, but like, how are your guys' games similar, and where do they really kind of start to separate?
Really similar but different. Like I would say, like we was growing up. I was training. He had the guard skills already. Like he can already dribble, like move fluid with the ball. Like that was something I had to learn and like develop. So I would say that's one thing. And but pretty much I feel like kind of the same type of game, honestly.
Yeah. Talking to Jaylen McDaniels, if there's someone out here or some of the Kings fans that maybe haven't seen you play before, what can they expect to see when you get on the floor? How would you describe yourself and the type of player that you are?
You know, it's playing hard, playing with a lot of energy, trying to be the best defender out there, running the floor, you feel me, hitting my open shots when I get the chance, and just making the right play and playing the right way. You feel me? That's something I always just prided myself on, is playing the right way and just always playing with a high motor. So that's just me.
Being in Toronto last year, how much did you kind of hear about DeMar and his, you know, as the kids say, his aura and things like that? Just kind of what kind of things he brings to the table?
You know, well, out there, I remember we played Chicago, and they was going crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it was a home game. So I know what type of caliber player he is. Been in the league 15 years, you know, great vet. You know, you can learn a lot from him. He's going to bring it every night. So I'm excited to play with him, be on the team with him. So.
Jaylen McDaniels, great stuff. Before we get you out of here, you mentioned playing the game with your brother. I missed out on asking Keon about what games he's playing right now. So I'm out the game. I'm not playing games no more. What are you on, 2K?
Yeah,
what you got going right now?
2K, Call of Duty.
Okay.
Just them two. Keep it simple.
Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. There you go. Well, you're going to keep it more than simple on the basketball court. Jaylen McDaniels, thank you so much for joining us, man. Good luck this season, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
That was Jaylen McDaniels, one of the newest Sacramento Kings, and we really appreciate Jaylen. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Great stuff there from Jaylen McDaniels. And, you know, just I really liked what he said about the relationship with him and his brother. It's a long season.
Great,
and, you know, we talk about a lot of the brothers, the Holidays, and
the Murrays,
the Antetokounmpos. And, you know, it's something so unique that to have somebody that you can say, hey, this person, obviously we have a lot in common because we grew up together and we're already close, but we also have something to share. They call the NBA a brotherhood. So you got a brotherhood inside of the brotherhood. So that's great stuff. And, you know, I'm really glad he got to highlight who he is as a player. And really, I mean, I think he is pretty darn similar to his brother. And
Yeah.
we're just hoping that we get a version of that out here, especially with, Trey. Trey said everything's trending well, but how all that's going to work out. So great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely great stuff. Like you said, I mean, I can't imagine how great it is to have a like you said, a confidant in the league, like having a brother there. I mean, when you go through struggles, to have somebody that you don't have to really pull back and hold anything from. I can't imagine how tough last year was for him, to see him have one of the worst years of his career, and then to conversely have his brother, like you said, rise to a different level and be a star in his role in Minnesota. Had to have been tough for him last year, and I think he's looking forward to this opportunity. Like you said, a new start here in Sacramento. You can feel that he's a guy who's been productive before in the league. I wouldn't say last year is more the guy that Jaylen McDaniels has been. I think last year could definitely show to be the anomaly. And frankly, I mean, you and I are on socials. We talk to Kings fans all the time. I don't think there's a lot of expectations from Kings fans around Jaylen McDaniels.
No.
And I do think he can surprise some people just by really being a solid rotational piece. And like you said, if he can channel anything that his brother brings, and that's not fair. It's not fair to him to bring up his brother. But I just think if he can channel some of that, I think this Kings team is going to be very, very happy with the player they get.
Well, I think a big piece of this, when, you mentioned Toronto, obviously he wants to hit that reset button.
Yeah.
We're still talking about gaming here. Hit that reset button and
blow on the cartridge a little bit.
Exactly. And show people, who he is. And this is the conversation about found money.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And what all is going on there. So, it's just it's a good opportunity for him and really the rest of the team to be in a situation where he can prove some people wrong.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Or maybe not prove people wrong, but just remind some people
Right.
of what he can do in the league.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think this is a good situation for him. Sacramento is a very loving, forgiving fan base. And I think, we're going to embrace him with open arms here. If he's willing to accept the love and admiration, I think Kings fans will give it to him tenfold. Being out in the community, doing, just doing what he's brought here to do. And I think, as this team kind of has a bit of depth issues at the wing, he's somebody who can absolutely step in and be a really big impact player if he can figure things out.
We are joined right now. Like we said, you can't move because you never know what could happen.
Nope.
We are joined by one of the newest Sacramento Kings, another one of the newest Sacramento Kings, Jordan McLaughlin. Jordan McLaughlin, thank you so much for joining us, man.
What's up? Appreciate you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on, man.
So Jordan, we were just talking to Jaylen McDaniels, and we said, hey, how's it been in Sacramento? And he says, it's cool, it's good to focus because there's not that much to do out there. And look, we let it slide because it happened so quickly. What do you like about Sacramento and how much there is to do out here, Jordan?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been smooth. So me and my wife, we got up here a month before training camp to get all situated and settled in and, just get the lay of the land. We ventured over to Roseville a little bit.
Oh,
so
nice.
we've gone over there. But I'm still looking forward to getting to know the lay of the land. But it's been good so far.
Sure. I mean, we're going to ask you tons of questions about your new team here, but we got to ask you about the huge trade that happened over the weekend. Minnesota, your old team, makes a big move, ships off Karl Anthony Towns to New York. They get Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo back. What was your reaction when you saw it happen? And have you talked to anybody out there and kind of what's the vibe out there in Minnesota?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy when we seen the news break.
Yeah.
We were kind of stunned like everybody. But, it's part of the business.
Sure.
They made a business decision, and now they got to move forward with it. But haven't talked to many people that way. Like I said, it's a business and things like that happen.
Sure.
And, just roll with the punches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking to Jordan McLaughlin. Now, Jordan, between you, De'Aaron, Keon, and when Devin Carter comes back, we talk a lot about defense on the Sacramento Kings team, but you're looking at one of maybe the most ferocious defensive backcourt rotations in the league. How excited are you to get out there with Keon and De'Aaron, who led the league in steals, and just add to that dog mentality on the defensive end?
Yeah, it's super exciting. When you got guys that want to play both ends of the floor, especially on defense, you got guys that are in the passing lane, being aggressive on the ball. It makes it super fun. And when
Sure.
you get steals, you're able to run out in transition and get a couple easy buckets. So it's going to be fun seeing us get after it on defense.
Yeah, awesome. I'm curious, did you get to go out to USC at all this summer? It seems like Coach Musselman has really brought a lot of NBA players over there this summer. Just kind of what have you been your thoughts as a USC alum about what he's brought just over the summer, really?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't gotten a chance to get back over there. I tried to meet up with him one time, but he was still house shopping at the time. I think it was towards the end of last season that I tried to meet up with him. But I'm super excited. You know, I've seen the things he's done in the past. He's changed programs around, and so hopefully he gets a championship brought over to USC.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously you and DeMar, how much do you know about DeMar coming in here? Have you guys talked before? Again, both being USC guys.
Yeah.
What's that relationship like?
Yeah, we're still building on it. I've talked to him, here and there when I was there in college and while he was in the NBA, and then competing against him over the last couple of years in the NBA as well. So I haven't got to know him too much on a personal level, but just knowing what he's done for USC, his community, himself in this league, and establishing himself, and just ready to pick his brain.
Sure.
When we had a team dinner the other night, I was sitting right next to him, picking his brain and asking him questions and stuff. So super excited to be on his team.
Awesome.
Jordan McLaughlin, good stuff. One more for you before we go. We asked the same thing to all of the new Sacramento Kings. If you were to describe yourself as a player to the fans out there, what they're going to expect and what they're going to see night in, night out, how would you describe yourself? Because they're expecting 47% from three. I'm just telling you right now, 47% from three.
Can we get 50? Come on, why stop at 47?
What are we going to see night in, night out?
Yeah, I got you. Just a winner. Whatever it takes to win, that's what I'm going to do. If I got to dive on the floor, if I got to be the best teammate on the bench, cheering my teammates on, pushing the pace, knocking down open shots, whatever it takes to win, that's what I want to do.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Jordan McLaughlin, great stuff, man. Good luck this season, and we hopefully talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, Jordan. Thank you.
Coming up next, we continue the conversation. Like we said, never know who's going to pop up as we get you through Media Day. Stiles and Watkins, only place to get this type of coverage.
That's right.
Of your Sacramento Kings Media Day, your home of the Kings. We'll be right back.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of a year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento Kings Media Day
on Sacktown Sports 1140.
McLaughlin, we're off and rolling now.
We're going.
We're off and rolling now.
Yeah.
We are more than halfway through the show, but don't worry, the coverage won't stop here.
No.
You will have all of the interviews that the morning show are doing. They'll play that, Chris, tomorrow
morning,
and things like that. Jordan McLaughlin was great. We didn't get a lot of time to kind of flip over because you never know who's going to pop up. But, I mean, I got Was I the only one that got goosebumps when he said a winner?
Yeah.
And just looked into my
Yeah,
soul.
he said
a winner.
A winner.
I said,
Sit with
I
that.
believe
Sit with
you.
that. Yeah.
I believe you. 47% from 3-point range last season.
Incredible.
A dog. And this defensive thing we keep talking about. Here's my question, Chris.
Yeah.
Could the defensive backcourt be so good that it, for lack of a better term, can hide maybe what the Kings are missing from the defensive front court? And there are metrics where Sabonis is a bit of a better defender than I think advertised. But even with that being said, if you have, like I said, De'Aaron Fox, Devin Carter when he gets back,
come on,
Keon Ellis, now you add Jordan McLaughlin. If you're able, and we got to see what Jaylen McDaniels does as well. That's more front court,
right?
But could they be so good that, hey, we know there's some things that we're lacking on the front, on the front court end, but our back court is so good, it does make up for it. If you're shutting down the other team's, if there's a guard star that's getting essentially, some version of shutdown every single night. Because think about how Keon struggled a bit against Jalen Brunson.
Right.
You go out, and I think they tried David. They tried everybody. Nobody was stopping Jalen Brunson last season.
Not that night. No.
But you go out and you get a Jordan McLaughlin. Now that's another look to throw at him, right? And now you can still throw De'Aaron Fox on him. You can rotate all those guys, and he's seeing different styles of defending. He's seeing how Keon is more aggressive. He's seeing how Jordan McLaughlin learns how to force you one way instead of the other. I think that it could make up for some of the deficiencies for the front court's defensive aspect.
Alan, it's just like football. It's like, hey, let's get a good D line because our corners aren't great.
Right.
It's, hey, if we can get that point of attack pressure, it takes some pressure off of the guys in the back end, So if you're pressuring the ball, if you're making it 15 seconds or the guy crosses half court with 15 seconds on the clock every time, that's going to affect the rhythm of the other team's offense. So absolutely 100% some of the other deficiencies can definitely be hidden by the ball pressure that these guys can bring. And I think if Monty McNair is right in front of us to our left, he's talking to Nate. Of course, Nate's not producing our show.
What Nate
he's
is
talking
doing,
with Monty McNair, but that's what I'm pretty sure Monty had in mind is he saw it and he really thought that this team could make, you lose Davion Mitchell. I think getting a guy like Jordan McLaughlin is a perfect replacement for a guy like that. And we don't even get to see Devin Carter off the bat. And I think that's going to be the thing that really can turn this Kings defense maybe from, okay, they're fine, they're average to, dude, they have this guy, Devin Carter, who is a beast on the ball. He had the highest vertical of anybody at the combine. He can block. He's one of the best guard blockers in the NBA. There's a chance that, that kid, now that's a lot of expectations in his rookie year, but in general, I think that there's enough guys who are just hounds on the ball that this team really could make a really big impact in the defensive rankings.
And respectfully, even if 47% might not be realistic for Jordan McLaughlin to do again this season, I would say he's a better shooter than Davion Mitchell.
I would say so. I think that's safe to say.
Safe saying that. So that is an area where the Kings got better. I think when Devin Carter gives back, we got to see from the NBA standpoint. Obviously, we've just seen him at Providence, but there's a chance that he is a better shooter as far as these kind of 3-and-D type guys, better shooter than Davion. So a lot of the ways that when we fire up, when Chris and I are in the humdrum of the summer, and it's the Kings are 15th on this list, and the Kings are this number on that list, they're not thinking about all of, and of course they aren't because they're looking at all these other teams, but they are not in the weeds like Sacramento is if you are a Kings fan or if you cover the Kings, to understand that there are areas where the Kings got better that you might even be downplaying the obvious ones, but not like DeMar DeRozan. Not only are you downplaying the obvious ones, you don't even realize what's going on as it pertains to some of the moves like a Devin Carter, like a Jordan McLaughlin, like the next leap for Keon Ellis. So all of those things, you put all those things into a pot, and it looks like this Kings team. And what was it, Chris? Was it 49 wins? Is that what it was for the Kings?
Last season, it was 48.
Well, I'm saying the over-under, excuse me.
Oh, it was, man.
Is it 49 and a half, I thought?
Was it 40? I think it was 47 and a half.
I'm saying, look, man, now I'm not talking about myself. I wouldn't,
might be 46,
but the Kings are going over. The Kings we're looking at 48 to 49 wins, and I would like to say, but and that's only we're only through halfway through media day.
That's
By the time
right,
we're
by
the time I talk to Mike Brown, I'm going to be
That's what I'm
saying
saying.
55
Yeah,
wins. So
60.
that's exactly what we're talking about here, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it's a definitely a big opportunity that this team has in front of them. With Minnesota possibly taking a step back. I'm not as high on Dallas as maybe some others are out there.
You're thinking that Minnesota is actually not going to be as good because of this move.
I'm thinking it. I'm telling you now.
So you now only we have locked in OKC and Oklahoma and Minnesota to the 1 and 2 in whatever order.
They're in the pack.
Only Oklahoma City is on a different level.
To me, OKC is the only other team that is on a different level. I think Minnesota just dropped to the pack a little bit. Now you might say, and I might say that they're definitely maybe more towards the higher end, but I think you can get rid of Cat. Cat was the longest tenured Timberwolf there. That's a lot of foundational stuff that I just don't know if you can replace with a guy, Julius Randle, who, like you said at the start of the show, he could be out at the end of this year.
And real quick, I don't know if we'll have time on the other side based on who pops up.
Right.
I know it's a business, and that's what Jaylen McDaniels was talking about, as well as Jordan McLaughlin. Did you feel like Minnesota? We do this thing every time. Did you feel like Minnesota did Cat dirty? Did they deserve? I mean, they just posted about the guy 2 days ago. He was in the facility, right? What was it? 9 years there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he deserved more than he got, or are you on the it's a business side of things?
Yeah, I mean, I would say he definitely deserved better. I mean, from all indications he had absolutely not even that the trade was happening or the trade had happened. Didn't even tell him he was like being shopped, you know? And I feel like normally it's a common courtesy to at least say, hey man, things are moving quickly, but just so you know, your name's being thrown around there just to get you prepared for the conversation. Everything seems to say that Karl Anthony Towns had absolutely no idea. And I just think that's a bit unfair. I mean, even in the crazy DeMarcus Cousins trade that happened on All-Star weekend, DeMarcus knew he was being shopped in conversations. He might have not known he was going to get traded day of the All-Star game, but he knew he was going to be in conversations. To have this happen 3 days before media day for the Timberwolves and for the Knicks, I can't help but think that this is, I mean, it is a business. Absolutely. Clearly, Minnesota saw an opportunity, or the Knicks saw an opportunity, and they pounced on it as quickly as they could. But I would like to think if you're going to uproot somebody, especially 3 days before, in their mind, the season starts, you could probably give them a little bit of a heads up if you could have. Now, that's the part that we don't know is, was there even a possibility for a heads up because of how quickly things might have escalated?
Yeah, and to me, this is why when you get back to the Kevin Durant's and the Kyrie Irvings, I'm going to break a contract if I want to break a contract, because this is the type of stuff that you guys do.
Absolutely,
now, people might say that's apples and oranges. You're under, trading is something that's a part of it, whereas you are the one under contract. If you don't have a no trade clause or whatever it is, it's tough, but it's more of a courtesy. And if you want to do business that way, and you have somebody that is, of the mindset that, hey, I have enough cachet and enough going for me that I can just not play if I want to, that's where this stuff gets sticky. All right. Nate is saying we got to get to the other side. When we get back, we will see who's next. We have somebody, but again, we want to keep it a surprise because you never know who might pop up here on Stiles and Watkins live from Media Day for your Sacramento Kings, as we are the home and the flagship. We'll be right back.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He piles for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
She used to meet me on the east side.
Khalid, live in concert. See him performing at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the sensational Khalid for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. For more, visit KhalidOfficial.com.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's L1 report.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live from Kings Media Day.
It's the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Drive Guys are up next as we take you up to 2 p.m.
I bet Draper had that play.
Yeah, Draper
He wants to
infiltrated
remind
the
people.
system.
He
Yeah,
wants
he's
to
like,
remind
don't forget the LeBron James of the station will be here. Shout out to Simone,
Yes.
who is hooking it up for us. Remote, she is back at the home base as Nate's been doing his thing. Nate's been doing a lot of,
Talking.
A lot of talking.
Nate, we saw you. We saw you.
Yeah,
We're out here.
a
We're
lot of
out here trying to
schmoozing.
conduct an interview.
No, I mean,
what
we're
do you
trying
do,
to. No. We're trying to do a
You're
show
like,
here.
let's go talk to
and
Monty
you're
McNair about
schmoozing.
Wawa.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
What?
you
Is he
know,
from
we're just trying to do a
Yeah.
show.
So we have a thing going. I'll show my shirt on the camera after this, but Monty is starting and this is breaking news.
Okay.
Monty's starting a petition, and we're gonna get a big rally going to get a Wawa here in Sac.
Wow.
So Monty's gonna spearhead it.
Okay.
Be the forefront is what he said. And
Okay.
then I told him I'm right behind him, right hand man. So
Okay.
whatever we got to do, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
me and my boy Monty McNair, and he's gonna give me a vest, a Wawa
Good.
vest.
Yes. Yeah. That feels like an absolute requirement.
Well, I'm looking here. Do you know where he was born? In Oak Park?
He
grew up-
went to
where- yeah.
school in, I believe he said Princeton.
He went to Princeton, so New
that's
Jersey. I
Wawa
get it.
area,
Okay,
yeah.
just two East Coasters, me and Monty. Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm taking it from you now.
He's getting so jealous. He gets so jealous.
No, I'm just saying we have more in common.
I got the shirt.
Monty and myself, we have more in common than I will take that.
I know,
now.
and I know you saw me over there just smoozing.
I
with
was-
me.
I was going like this in
I
my
saw him
eyes.
put his arm
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
Talking to Keon Ellis about Counter Strike, and you're like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know what's.
I'm like, who do you main in Valorant, Keon?
I don't know what's going on here,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Is he
Nate
even
is
speaking English anymore. What's
Nate
going
is doing a great job for us. We are kind of awaiting. We still have, based on our list, definitely have a good bit of people.
Some big names.
Yeah, to pop up. You do not want to miss some of the big names that we're going to have on the show. But in the meantime, in the in-between time, we continue to give you kind of a bird's eye view of what's going on. You have Doug Christie.
Hey.
This is the scene right now. You have Doug Christie coming up to Kevin Herter during the Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross interview. This can only happen here at 1140 Sacktown Sports. So yeah, a lot is popping off right now. Alex Len is walking around. He's a big boy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. When
I'm
they
not
say
gonna say
7 feet
names.
tall,
Yeah,
there's some people like KD doesn't like to admit
yeah.
he's 7 foot. There's some people out there who aren't 7 foot, but
Right.
Dwight Howard is really 6'8", 6'9".
Right.
Alex Len is 7 feet tall.
No, let
me tell you that.
You know, there've been some people. Yeah, some of the names have looked quite different, but that one that one's
fits. That one
healthy.
fits. What's he's listed as? We got the roster right in front of us. Alex Len is listed at 7 feet tall. I dare say taller than 7 feet.
Yeah,
I think we might weigh the same too. Like he's not as like big.
I think people think Alex is like not out of shape, but just like a big, sizable guy that's like not moving. He's really trimmed.
Yeah. Like I think a lot of basketball players.
Yeah, right. As we just look at him, and
not on
should
our
we
list.
ask him about his groin too. Like, what's going on?
Alex Len is not on our list, by the way, but he is bopping around.
Glutes, Alex.
And yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
We're expecting great things from Alex Len,
of course,
this season. Yeah, Chris. I mean,
I will say, just in general, a lot more quiet this year. I feel like normally media day has like
where's the social media wigs?
It's got some random yelling, that happens every so often. There's a lot more people just kind of standing, like the whole coaching staff is just standing around in front. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but normally there's just more of a buzz in this room. And it's
what do you
that, Alan? You got to start the buzz.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think that could be because of?
They must not like each other.
Maybe
must be team chemistry is at an all-time.
But I'm saying we've seen this before, and I know the Bills just lost last night, but we've seen this before where it's last season. You're coming off Beam Team.
Sure.
There was where are we going to go next?
Business.
Yeah, this season it's no. We ain't going to talk about it.
No,
we're going to be about it.
Something
that's what I think.
That I think we really need to talk about is the Getty photographer looks like Whitey from behind too, and I keep thinking Whitey's here.
He does.
Do you guys see
does.
that?
Yeah.
So
I
I
could
keep
see that.
seeing Whitey Gleason,
But I
here.
could also slot like a couple other guys into that. I thought it was
true.
Terry Stotts as well.
It's kind of does look like Terry. His actual face does look a lot like Terry Stotts. Actually,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's
just go up and say, "What's up,
call.
Terry?"
Yeah.
Absolutely
Terry?
incredible.
Sarah, how's your groin, Terry?
Nate? Well, this is probably the only chance you'll have at it. How are you feeling about your Niners? Go.
I'm feeling
This is
okay.
your show now.
Go. Hey, tell a joke.
Go. Be funny now.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling okay. I really like that they took a lot of shots downfield.
Yeah, they did.
I heard you guys talking about the Kittle catch. That was pretty
incredible,
pretty awesome.
Guys, hold on. First, as we're talking about catches, the Kittle catch. One thing, guys, Fred Warner might have made the best play I have seen. In a couple years,
he was up.
That interception was insane.
Yeah,
I don't know how many players can actually make that play.
No, I mean, and then
to return it.
Yeah, Brissett didn't see him at all. The way he came out of nowhere, popped up, and there he was.
The
and
leap
then
was insane.
Hits the ground, instantly back up. And I didn't think he was going to pick six it. I thought, okay, at the 5, that's great. He somehow made it, kept his feet in. But that man should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year.
No, just MVP. I really think that he should just be in the MVP conversation with how he's playing. I mean, what is that? 3 picks and 2 forced fumbles in that Vikings game?
It's him, Jawan, and Brock. Those 3 are the guys that are carrying the team. And I'm all here for it. I'm here for it. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Brock Purdy. I think he is finally not silencing everyone, because I don't think that's going to happen what JT O'Sullivan said to us. There's always, it's going to take 15 Super Bowls or whatever for that to go away, being a little dramatic. But I'm happy they did exactly what they had to do. They didn't get off script, as Mr. Stiles likes to say. They tried to.
I mean, the Patriots, they're just
that first
so
quarter
bad.
was terrible.
They are bad.
That was
They're
some
terrible.
of the worst
They're
officiating too all year. There were some horrible calls on both sides of the ball. I think you guys mentioned the 3 touchdown drive, which is
incredible.
Obviously I'm going to see it more for the Niners, but it was ugly. I'm happy though. They're where they should be, and they need to crush the Cardinals next week. And I think I'm leaning towards they will.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot of football throughout the week. Probably not a lot today. We'll probably get to a ton tomorrow. But the one thing that we did talk about as a show already, I'm out on the Cardinals.
We're done.
You guys were drinking the Cardinal juice.
I will admit,
I was protecting myself because I didn't want Chris to be right.
There.
I didn't want to drop a game, so I rode. And by the way, I double rode for my daily fantasy. I took Kyler Murray's. I finished dead last. My wife actually won the league yesterday, and I came in dead last out of 15 people. 15.
Dude.
It's
the
just,
NFC West, were terrible.
The Cardinals are cooked.
They were so bad.
But here's
yesterday.
the thing, though. They are a team that they're kind of like the San Francisco Giants. they like to play. Like, they'll be a great spoiler.
Oh yeah,
like, I don't like the Niners.
They'll beat the Niners once.
They'll beat the Niners next week.
Right.
That's what'll happen. And then they'll be completely useless for the rest of the season. By the way, Chris, I found the over/unders.
Oh, okay.
46.5.
46.5.
That is a hammer sesh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not me, but somebody should put something on that, because that is. I'm drinking. You talking about the Cardinals Kool-Aid? The Kings Kool-Aid is dark purple,
that bean
and
juice.
It's 47 wins. That's in their sleep.
Yeah, I mean,
that's in their sleep.
They got 48 last year, and I think everyone would say last year was a struggle to get through.
Yeah.
They lost so many games they shouldn't have lost. I don't know if I would really say that there was a ton of games that they won that they shouldn't have. Like, I don't know how many times they really, they surprised us and beat the Celtics. Oh, my goodness. They absolutely demolished OKC on this night. There was not a lot of surprise victories last year, and I just think 46.5 is such a low number considering, again, I would say there's only one real lock that I would say is a guaranteed 54-win team plus, and that's OKC. We'll see about Denver, but I think, with them losing KCP, if anything, I think that there's just a big pack of teams that are trying to figure out where they're going to shake out from 2 to around 6. And I think the Kings just have a really, really good look at getting one of those top 4 seeds. And I don't think that's the conversation right now. I think a lot of people might think that I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too much, or we're in the building and we're vibing in the arena too much. But I just think that it's so obviously in front of us that this team is better than the past 2 years from a talent perspective. I just can't see how that's not going to translate in the win column.
Yeah. Chris, as we see the coaching staff about to take pictures, how did you approach media day? Or excuse me, not media day. How did you approach, what was it, school photo day?
Oh, yeah.
This is giving me school photo vibes. As
big time.
Nate says we got to get to the other side, and maybe, just maybe, one of those coaches will be joining us, but we won't say who's.
People want to know my answer, so I'm kidding. Nobody wants to know my answer.
Well, we'll have time.
There'll be another
later.
Yeah,
there you go.
We don't have to get to that now.
Stiles and Watkins, we'll be right back with your Sacramento Kings Media Day coverage. We'll be right back.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Recently, I was at the dealership and I had to get a look at their Sprinter vans up close and personal. And boy, was I blown away. One of the first things I noticed was the Mercedes star in the front. So you know it's made with the same premium quality Mercedes-Benz is known for. Plus, their Sprinter vans are fully customizable. So if you want to use it for your business, maybe you want to go on a camping trip or even hauling your kids and their teammates to sporting events around town, they can set it up for you. From vans to box trucks to RVs to even limos, it's a one-stop shop. Don't believe me? Well, go see for yourself. Give the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van a test drive at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You won't be disappointed. It's just a short drive down I-5 off of 8 Mile Road or anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com. And while you're there, tell me your boy Drape sent you.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
All Kings,
all day.
Kings Media Day.
On Sacktown Sports 1140.
We are very close, Stiles and Watkins, to our next guest. And let me tell you, this one is a doozy, okay? We are watching them finish up pictures. They're supposed to make their way on over to us. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. Drive guys after that. So Draper, is Draper going to do the show in his suit?
Oh yeah, you better believe it. He's showtime. He's gonna.
They're doing the show here.
Maybe yeah, I believe so, Nate. Right? They're doing the show right here. They're gonna swap seats with us, and hopefully he'll at least take off the suit jacket. But yeah, I mean he's standing right in front of us, and he's suited and booted.
Yeah.
So yeah, might be a uncomfortable 4 hours for Whitey and Drakes. We got Monday Night Football, I think. Actually,
that's right. Monday Night Football.
Another
double header.
Abbreviated show.
Yeah, another doubleheader. Your favorite.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we await the pictures to finish. So yes, as we were kind of wondering, Chris, what was your approach on picture day? Did you like picture day? Did you like to avoid it?
I didn't mind it. I will say my parents weren't one of those where it's like, oh, we're going to put you in your special outfit that we, so I don't have many, embarrassing shirts. I won't say I didn't wear embarrassing items, but usually, I mean, honestly, picture day was jersey day for me. I was always hey, I'm going to show up in my, Nuggets, Carmelo Anthony jersey, or, I think I had a Bulls Jordan jersey, maybe a Kings jersey if I could squeeze it in. But yeah, I was always a jersey kid on picture day. Never was one for the polos.
With a lot of colleges, especially after COVID, going more remote and digital, I really do hope that I'm thinking about baby Stiles here. And, about 15 years, what if everything was just digital and there was no more picture day? That'd be so terrible. I can't imagine a
world with that.
That'd be so terrible. I mean, you get to basically miss an hour of school.
There's nothing like that anticipation.
You got to, you get ready, okay, I got the crispy J's that aren't going to be shown in the picture anyway, but I'm wearing them. I got my collar, I got my, my polo, whatever it is. I would hate for that to go away.
Yeah, no. And I mean, I just thought about it too. I mean, I forgot about the whole recess issue of like, oh shoot, like my pictures are after recess, so I can't play basketball.
No, you can't.
And get the, the shirt all dirty or start sweating or anything like that in your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a special day, but
there you go.
Yeah, it's got similar vibes to today for sure. How's it going, Coach? Good to see you.
Thank you. Special day when Mike Brown joins us. Mike Brown, thank you so much for joining us, head coach of your Sacramento Kings. And Coach, as we get your headset on, get you ready to go, Chris and I were talking about how Media Day reminds us of Picture Day when we were kids. Were you big on Picture Day? Would you come, with your best fit on, your crispy shoes. Were you a picture day person, a kiddo?
I was a picture day person. The thing I always hate, I had an afro. This is when I had hair,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I had an afro, and I could never get my afro to be perfect like
right.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Mike. It didn't matter how old Michael was. Michael had this beautiful afro.
He had like a mold almost.
Man, and mine was a little lumpy here, a little lumpy there, and that was the only thing I hated about picture day.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, first off, congratulations also on the extension this offseason. How's it feel to just kind of feel like there's maybe a little bit of stability, even if it is just kind of mentally knowing like, all right, that's to the side and we can just kind of focus on basketball?
No, you know what? I think our owner, Vivek Ranadiv, as well as the plethora of other owners that we do have, showing the confidence in myself and the staff to be able to continue trying to lead this ship in the right direction. And so thank those guys, Monty and Monty McNair and Martina as well. But it's exciting. Sacramento is where I want to be. My family loves it. I love it. And I do think we can do big things here. And I'm looking forward to trying to accomplish those things.
Awesome. Yeah, we can tell you love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, talking to Coach Mike Brown, you've been out in the community so much, and we talked a little bit last week about high school football. And I got to give you your kudos right here, because the backstory is we were chatting, and the conversation came up of, hey, I need to go. I'm trying to diversify the schools that I go to. I need to get out to Grant. So that conversation happened. Next thing I know, a couple of days later, I'm on Twitter. This man got to Grant immediately. You did not waste time. How important is it for you to be a part of the community and just really ingratiate yourself with everybody in Sacramento?
Yeah, I tell you what, the fans in Sacramento no matter where I go, I'm walking on the street, I'm in the mall, I'm at the restaurant, I'm here in the arena. The fans are fantastic, and to be able to touch them and thank them for their support is something that I always try to do. And so getting out to Grant High School was something that I wanted to do. My stepdaughter, she goes to Oak Ridge High School, and so it's right down the street from me. I'm able to get to a couple of games before the season starts, and I love high school football, so I did it. But like you said, I wanted to make sure that I'm able to diversify of where I'm going and who I'm touching, and so to be able to go see that environment in Grant was a lot of fun.
How much have you been keeping up with? I don't know if you've seen the Sac-12 effort, the Sac State's effort to make the Pac-12. Have you seen much of it, and just kind of what are your initial thoughts on that movement?
No, I have. I think it's definitely a great thing.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten out to any Sac State games this year. I went last year to I think at least one, if not two, but one for sure. And that can be a fantastic environment. Football in Northern California, obviously, as you guys know, is a big deal. To have a team in the Pac-12 that has the capabilities or the possibilities that Sac State has. Oh, man, good things can happen, because I know the people in Sacramento, let alone the kids that go to school there at Sac State, will rally behind the whole efforts.
Talking to Coach Mike Brown. All right, Coach, we started you off with some softball type questions. Now it's going to get a little tougher. There you go.
Knocked him out.
I knocked him out for sure.
There you go.
I'm 2 for 2 with 2
2
home
for
runs.
2. You're 2 for 2. So, we're on the radio every single day. There's a lot of talk about the 2 position, right? And that 2 guard position, what's going to happen there as you head into camp? Is it a situation where it's going to be like a high school football tryout? You have no clue, and whoever impresses you the most is going to get the position? Or do you have an idea, but you could be swayed? What is your thought process at that 2 guard position going into the season of training camp?
Well, right now, Kevin is not healthy all the way, and so and I've said this to the media a little earlier. Having the luxury of a guy like Malik come off the bench, I've been fortunate enough to experience it with 2 of the best in Andre Iguodala and Manu Ginobili. And, Manu came off the bench behind a career 6.2 scorer a game and Bruce Bowen. And there's not a single person in the world that would say, hey, I'd rather have Bruce Bowen on my team than Manu Ginobili, even though Bruce started. Yeah. And between the 2 of them, they won 8 NBA championships. 7 of them were won when they were 6 men. So to be able to have that punch Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich used to say when he talked about Manu coming off the bench, and even Steve Kerr, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame as a coach as well, to have that punch that those two guys talk about with a guy like Malik, with a guy like Manu, with a guy like Andre that can just tie things together. It's a luxury, and I feel like it's a luxury we should take advantage of. And so right now for me in the foreseeable future, that's what Malik's going to do. And again, everybody's like, well, Malik says he wants to start. He should want to start. I don't want anybody that doesn't have the competitive edge that or demeanor that Malik has. I embrace that because I know at the end of the day, his best friend, his teammates, the organization, but more importantly for Malik, because he gets out there more than me, the city of Sacramento, he doesn't want to disappoint those guys, and he won't. So he's going to embrace whatever role he has to help uplift this team. And so with those two in mind, because those two are probably the most logical quote unquote starters in that position, Keon by default is gonna start there during training camp.
Okay.
He's gonna be with the first unit, and we'll see what happens from there.
You've talked a lot about your relationship with Greg Popovich, and DeMar had him forward his book. What is your guys' relationship like now, and what do you think Coach Pop told DeMar about what to expect from you, and what has Coach Pop told you about what to expect from DeMar?
The first thing is, you talk about DeMar's ability on the court. That's everybody sees that, but to know how humble he is, how caring he is, how good of a person he is, how he touches his teammates and uplifts them on a daily basis while trying to encourage them to play the right way and to be a part and embrace their roles. Those are things that you don't know about until you're around somebody and you face some adversity.
Right.
And to be able to hear that from Pop about DeMar from Jump Street was something that really sold me on him, because it's obvious what you're going to get from him from a basketball standpoint. And I hope Pop told him that I'm great. I'm better than him. I'm better than Popovich. I'm going to help DeMar get to new heights. I hope he told him all those good things. But my relationship with Pop goes way back, and he'll always have a special place in my heart, because he's more than just a coach to me, or more than just a Hall of Fame coach to me. He's a guy that impacted my life off the floor just as much as he did on the floor.
Coach Mike Brown, thank you so much for joining. One more before we get you out of here. And like we said, it's been a pleasure so far. Another thing, we talked about the two position. Another thing a lot of people have been discussing is the four, and whether DeMar, who's played some four before, whether DeMar will play the four or Keegan Murray might slide into the four. What are you thinking things will look like? And obviously they could change when you get into camp and when you get the team together, but what are your initial thoughts on who might play where?
That's a great question, and right now, I'm not sure. Everybody knows Domas is going to start, Roxy's going to start, DeMar is going to start, Keegan's going to start, and again, Keon will probably fill in that fifth role right now, but we could easily fill that fifth role in with Trey Lyles and be a little bigger, which would slide DeMar to the 2 and Keegan to the 3, or we could fill it in with somebody else that's a bigger guy. So that's what training camp's all about. That's what the preseason is all about, to experiment with some things, to see what fits, what makes sense, and hopefully by the regular season we'll have it figured out. If not, again, I look at this thing as a journey or a process. We don't have to have all the answers come day one or come opening night. You just hope you can come close to what you want to do and then build in the right direction together, as in climbing together.
There you go. I like that. I might need one of those. Good talking to you, Coach Mike Brown. As always, catch him at your local high school football game.
You never know where he's going to be
next week. We'll be right back with more Stiles and Watkins.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate y'all.
I don't know. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
But I covered you when you were with the Warriors, because I grew up in the Bay. So you came out here. That I'm just following you. I came out a year later. So yeah, it's good to see you still doing good and all that good stuff. Yeah.
I'm gonna see a lot of y'all.
Where to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
This report is brought to you by Macy's. Don't miss Macy's VIP sale. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends and save 15% off skincare, makeup, and more. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply. Now at Macy's.
With Wendy's, breakfast burrito is everything you want for breakfast. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, bacon, or sausage, all rolled up into one warm tortilla. Want the boss of breakfast burritos? Gotta be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Live from Kings Media Day.
It's Stiles and Watkins
on Sacktown Sports.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. Joined by the one, the only Malik Monk. Malik, thank you for joining us, man.
Appreciate for having me, man. Appreciate for having me.
So let's just get this out the way, right? We got a bunch of basketball questions, but I need to know, because Chris and we went golfing a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
I got him this time.
Okay.
How is the handicap looking? What's working for you right now, and what do you still need work on? Is it the flop shots? Is it the driving? How's the golf? Bro. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
If I could hit my driver, bro, I'll probably be like a 10.
What? That's golf.
Yeah.
That's all of us,
That's
man.
How it goes,
that's
man.
all
That's
it
how it
goes.
goes. 10 handicap if I can hit my driver, but my irons are all right.
Okay.
I can put and I can chip. So
okay.
I dropped my score like 15 scores from last
Man,
year. Though, so
wow.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Sacramento
course is treating you well?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Got a membership Granite Bay now. So
nice.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a few more membership they said I was gonna get for free.
I also heard that.
I'm trying to see.
You need to cash in on those for sure.
I'm trying to see.
There was a lot of people who made a lot of promises. If Malik comes back, I heard
they went to Honda.
Yeah.
They went to Honda.
Funny how that happens.
It's crazy. I'm gonna find them though. I'm gonna find them.
I think somebody was supposed to make a sandwich named after you. There was a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
I seen a lot too, man. I seen it.
We're gonna send out
hold them up though.
Yeah.
Hold them up.
Keep receipts. Keep receipts, man.
Sure.
Well, besides the golf, which is beautiful, even when it's not too hot out here.
Yeah,
what
man,
were some of the other reasons you decided to not only stay in Sacramento, but just your decision just happened? Nobody had to sweat anything, so we want to thank you on behalf of all Sacramento Kings fans. So what were some of the other reasons you decided to stay?
First of all, man, this like home. I've been saying that since I got here. So
it's kind of hard to leave home, especially when everybody's with you.
Yeah.
And then you can go to a different situation and you don't know everybody over there. You don't know the love. You don't know if it's real or not. So I knew everything here was genuine. And of course I knew he was gonna make some big trades or things based off what I do. So I just tried to get that out the way as soon as possible so we can make some moves. And I think we made a big move to get DeMar. And I feel like that helped us. So that was a part of it.
What are you hoping to learn from DeMar? I mean, I think you obviously expanded your pick and roll game last year. DeMar's been eating off that for a while now, his mid-range game. What do you kind of hope to pick up from him?
Patience. Just the patience, man. He's never in a rush.
Yeah.
And sometimes I be moving too fast and I'm in a rush. So I'm just pick his brain on how to stay composed, man.
That's awesome.
Talking to Malik Monk of your Sacramento Kings. Malik, we just got done talking to Coach Mike Brown, and he was referencing a lot of the Manu Ginobili's and a lot of the things that you've heard probably ad nauseum at this point when it comes to the sixth man. We know you got injured last season. So is there a part of you that feels like I want that revenge tour to get that sixth man, or how are you approaching that?
Last year, I should have won it, of course.
I lost it by one vote. Literally by one vote.
Yeah. And they play, and the stats they were showing was him starting.
Yeah.
I thought it was coming off the bench.
Yes.
Then they say we wasn't winning. Then so the year before that, I led in everything too.
Yeah.
And we was number 3 seed, and I still didn't win. So
make it make sense.
I ain't worried about it, man. I'm just trying to go out here and win some games and play until the end. Trying to hold up the trophy.
The one trophy, the one award you did get last year was the GQ Stylish Player of the Year.
For sure.
How much does that mean to you? I know you obviously care a lot about your fashion. And is there anybody on the team? I know people were making a lot of Devin's outfit on draft night. Is there anyone you're
with me?
I didn't think so. I had a feeling you were going to say that.
I'm not worried about that. But that shows a lot, man, because I don't have a stylist. And
you don't, you said?
Do not.
Wow.
Do not put it all to in my brain, man, to myself. So that was a lot, but it's basketball, man.
Yeah,
so
right.
Trying to win some basketball games and hold the trophy that matters, man.
Yeah.
Malik, when I believe you were interviewed while the play-in was going on, or maybe right after the play-in had ended, and you had basically mentioned that if you felt like you played, the team would have been in the playoffs, right?
1,000%.
Oh, right. So with that being said, you're healthy now. DeMar DeRozan's here.
Yeah.
Okay. Devin Carter, when he gets back, Keon another year.
Yep.
De'Aaron Fox. Where do you see the ceiling for this team?
DeMar said Western Conference Finals, didn't he? Did y'all see that?
I did see that. Yeah.
I guess
Why not?
I guess I got to say that.
Yeah.
Got to hold him up to that one. For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what in general do you hope to? I mean, now that you kind of have your contract situation locked up, just kind of by the end of your 3 years, if you can't stay all 3 years here, what do you hope to accomplish by the end of that?
Like I say, at least get to the Western Conference Finals, man. And if we get there, try to win a trophy, man. Just make deep playoff runs.
Yeah.
If we don't come up on top, I just hope we in the playoffs and make it deep runs and know we can say we ended with a fight.
Sure.
Talking to Malik Monk. Malik, it's been great. Before we get you out of here, from the outside looking in, or when you look at yourself as a player in the mirror, what do you constantly work on right now and feel like I need to get better here, or is it just about I want to improve in certain situations? Are you still trying to expand that game?
I'm not trying to expand my game anymore, man. I feel like I'm a vet. I think the league know what I can do.
Yeah.
Now it's just me being great at the things I do good. So whatever the situation Mike put me in, try to capitalize off those situations and try to be great in those situations because, like I say, I'm 8 years in. I'm a vet now. I know what I can do. I think the league knows what I can do. So I don't need to really show more of my game anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just me being a competitor and me upping my resume with wins.
Yeah. Malik Monk, thank you so much, man. Hey, good luck this season.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Good luck on the golf course as well.
Yes, man.
Don't put that driver in the keep it out.
I'll use it now.
People,
people put it away, man.
Don't
They
hide
get scared.
I won't put it up. I won't put it up.
Thanks, Malik. Have a good one, man.
Appreciate you, Malik. Thank you.
Great stuff from the one, the only Malik Monk as we continue this media day for your Sacramento Kings. Great stuff from Malik Monk.
Incredible, man.
I gotta
always
say,
great, man.
well, I was
Always
gonna say,
great.
everybody always says always great. That was my first interaction. So I've always, no, I'm saying for Malik,
Yes,
but I never
no, I
got
hear
to
you.
experience it
Yeah.
until right now as advertised.
Vibes are just, it's just out of control, man. I mean, he's just so chill. He's so real. You love to hear it. And, you know, he's got the right mentality. And I think that's the right thing to do. You heard him just kind of continue to back his teammates and say, you know, I'm with DeMar. It's Western Conference Finals for him.
We are now joined
Look at
by
that.
the
It
one,
don't
the
stop.
only Mason Jones. We're going to keep this thing going. What's up, Mason? Thank
How
you
you
so
doing,
much
Mason? How you doing, man? Thank
for
you.
joining us, man. Look, let's start here. Well, I want to start somewhere else. And maybe you already had this conversation, but you decided, you know, I was about to get my surfboard because you got the waves out. You cut the hair. You cut the hair. Were you just feeling a different swag? Tell us what went
Not
into that
blonde
decision.
anymore either. Yeah.
I just this off season. I just wanted to start something new and start something fresh. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to cut my hair and just
Yeah.
you know what I mean, I just started the more disciplined and consistent road that I've been on since the end of the last year. So it just shows a new Mason, just shows all
Yeah.
the work that I put in this summer and that I will continue to put in. So just a new look.
Mhm.
I feel fresh. As you see, I
You
see
look fresh.
see the
You look
360.
fresh.
I put the
I
do-rag.
got you.
Yeah, the do-rag definitely been on. So you know what I mean? I'm just blessed and grateful to be here. And
Absolutely.
excited to see y'all see me play this year.
Great. Yeah, man. And a lot was made during the summer league of a big body transformation for you. What kind of went into that? And do you feel any different? Like, do you feel lighter on your feet? Do you feel like you can do things that maybe you couldn't do before?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man, I see it every day. As
That's
we
crazy,
practice
yeah.
and as we just continue to work in our workouts and scrimmages, just I continue to do more and more things that last year I couldn't do, but now that I take my body serious, now that I do all the extra things and now I know how my body knows how to feel. So just doing that and just continue to build day by day and just continue to get better and just learning from summer league and just watching that film a lot. And I'm a big film watcher, so I love watching film, and that's how I continue to grow and that's how I continue to evolve as every year by just watching a lot of film and watching what I know I can do better next year. As I know I did the little things I didn't do last year, now I get to show this year because I watch a lot of film. So I'm excited to show that.
Talking to Mason Jones here. And Mason, this is our first time talking. So the only time I've really seen you is when you're in hype man mode. I wasn't necessarily expecting this. When you go to, you know, your game personality, do you feel like you switch a little bit, or are you always the same person? Because you're very chill right now.
Oh yeah, off the court, I'm a very chill guy. I love to be by myself, and I love peace and quietness because I'm real big on just enjoying who I am and to continue to evolve and build who I am.
Yeah.
But on the court, I mean, I'm a dog. I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
I love to play. I put a lot of work in, and like I said, I love to show what I am, and I want to continue to get better. So when I hit the court, it's just, all right, I know my team need me to be this guy, and that's who I am. But off the court, I'm more chill, relax, just like to enjoy, go to the movies, just do some chill things, just to, you know what I mean, continue to keep a balance between that Mason and this Mason, because I give a lot to this Mason. But also, as I continue to grow, as I continue to learn, I want to do a balance and continue to give the same off the court Mace, the same balance on the court Mace.
Yeah, Mike Brown even shouted you out after a win last year in the post game, mentioned your energy off the bench and kind of how it helped lift the guys on the floor. Obviously, you've probably spent a lot of your basketball life on the floor. When did you kind of realize that you could impact the game while not being on the floor? One of the five guys out there.
It was really one of the biggest things I really learned was I learned when I was in Europe. I went to Europe for 3 months, and I learned that the biggest thing that they really want to do is win. Everybody is together as one team, and that was one of the biggest things I brought back when I came back here and I played for the Kings G League, and then eventually got signed on the Kings. That was just one of the biggest things I wanted to bring back was team first. Then have a great attitude. You don't know what that can do for a player's confidence. You don't know what that can do for a teammate as informs of what he's going through, and that positivity uplifts him for the game. So I just one of the biggest things I learned out there, and I knew that our team last year needed that energy. And this year is going to be way better. Like, you're going to have more energy from everybody, and everybody's together, and everybody's just building, and you know what I mean, just being more consistent. And you know, I was able to do that, but now I'm able to see that I can be a good teammate. But now I'm ready to show I can be a good player too.
Mason Jones, it has been a pleasure. Before we get you out of here, we hear about it all the time, man. We got a 4-hour show, so every day people, too many guards. We got to hear this all the time. You as a guard on this team, what are some of the things that maybe you have focused on, or maybe Mike Brown or the coaching staff has told you to focus on to differentiate yourself and what you can do to kind of stand out and give yourself opportunities?
I think the biggest thing, as people see if they watched me last year, is my 3-point percentage. I shot 48% from the three on 6.5 attempts. So just one of the biggest things that really where I can stand out is being one of the elite shooters, which I think I could be.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I'm excited to show people because, like I say, I read a lot of books and quiet man wins. You know, I just sit in the back and just put a lot of work in, and I'm not big on trying to tell people what I'm about to do. I'm just big on actions will match my words, and like I said, I'm excited for people to see it, and that's one of the biggest things people are going to be able to see, especially as we got so many good players and all the spots we gonna have. Everybody can't be. You got to double team somebody.
So,
you know what I mean? I'm just going to be ready to catch and shoot this year and really, really show people I can really do that.
Awesome.
Mason Jones, don't tell me, show me. Don't tell me, show me.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Mason Jones, for joining us. Good luck this season, man. Can't wait to watch. That was great stuff from one Mason Jones as we continue on during our media day coverage here. Great stuff, man. And we will be back with even more. We are not done, so don't go anywhere. And if you're riding around and hey, did you know that Sacktown Sport, they're interviewing everybody right now.
And
tell
we're
your friends, man. And it's about to get even bigger when we come back. And maybe we won't come back. That's how things are. Or maybe we will. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, there you go.
We're going to have Keegan Murray on.
How's it going, Keegan?
Right now. What's up, Keegan? Alan, good to meet you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Keegan Murray joins us here on Sacktown Sports 1140. Keegan, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yeah, of course, man.
So let's start here. Chris and I, because Chris was here last year and I was not. And Chris is saying it's not as loud this year. It's a little bit quieter than it was. And Chris said that last year, that is where the famous, because Keegan, I'm telling you, every time you do something, the shoom, the beam sound thing. So that happened last year. What's going on? Are we going to have something memorable come out of this year's media day? It's too quiet in
here. I see a
Keegan.
Purple wig over there, man.
Yeah,
I don't know
what's going on, man?
I haven't even been over that station, but hopefully that doesn't turn into some crazy meme or something again. So.
How has that been? I mean, Kings fans definitely have had some fun at your expense, just kind of, poking fun. And I think it's been great. But from your side of things, how do you kind of see it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have people around me that show me stuff all the time. Like I'm not on like Twitter or nothing like that. So I get shown a lot of stuff. I mean, if they're having fun with it and they can have fun with it. I mean, I'm a laid back. I don't really care about much. So yeah, whatever the fan base loves, that's cool with me.
So we just finished talking to Malik Monk, and he was saying how he shaved off 10 strokes, 15 strokes off his game.
10 or 15. Oh, he said 15.
15. Is that? Did you?
First off, can you confirm that?
Yeah, because that's a lot.
That's a lot of strokes in a year. I know y'all are professional athletes, but
he's talking. I mean, I played with him last summer, and he was over 100 like most of the time. So 10 strokes off of 100 is pretty. It is what it is. But I mean, he's gotten a lot better for sure.
How often do you play? Because I try to play with Chris, my co-host. Sometimes he'll respond to my text. Sometimes he won't. Keegan, how often do you play with Malik?
Malik, I play with him probably 8-10 times this summer.
Okay.
So I was out with him a little bit. But yeah, he's definitely got a lot better. Like he was almost unplayable with early
the marshals on your tail
early last summer, but now he's actually he's pretty good. So
yeah, I'm curious too, just before we get into some King stuff, but being a part of Iowa basketball, obviously Caitlin kind of went to another level, if that's possible, this year, and she just kind of wrapped up her season. What is your guys' relationship like? I know you guys obviously kind of cross paths at Iowa, but what has it been like to kind of see her star grow, and how much are you in contact today?
Yeah, we've been good friends. I mean, we both came into Iowa as freshmen, so we kind of had that relationship going forward. And now she's dating one of my best friends,
that's right,
Connor McCaffrey. So I'm always in touch with Connor, and she's obviously doing her thing, and has been really good this year. And it's just been cool to see her grow as a freshman at Iowa to what she is now. It's kind of, you see like the early stardom, but you never think it's going to get this big.
Right. I mean, I can't imagine you would ever think it would get as big as it's gotten now.
Yeah. So it's really cool.
Talking to Keegan Murray of your Sacramento Kings. Keegan, from the outside looking in, it seemed like you were asked to do a lot last season, right? From defending to expanding your game offensively. What did you feel like you accomplished last season as far as the things you were asked to grow in? What do you feel like, hey, I really do feel like going into this season, last season I grew in this way? Was it the defending? Was it the offensive repertoire? What do you think that was?
Yeah, the biggest thing going into last year was just being able to guard the best guy on the other team. Being able, because my rookie year I was really frustrated defensively because I just couldn't figure it out. But then last year something clicked, and I feel like just having that learning curve helped me a lot because this team really hasn't had that kind of guy. So that's been my biggest thing. And then just obviously offensively, just finding my spots and just growing.
Would you say you have a favorite spot on the floor to shoot from?
Not really. I just shoot. And whatever happens,
It's
happens.
all good. Yeah. And then also, I mean, you guys, we were talking with Mike earlier about you and DeMar maybe being interchangeable at the 4. Have you been talked to much this year? I know in college, a big part of your game was kind of playing in the post. Have they had any conversations with you about maybe bringing some of that back? Or is it just kind of a, when you're out there, if it feels right, you're going to go for it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's something this summer that I've kind of went back to work on because at Iowa, that's pretty much all I played out of was in the post. So I'm just trying to find that rhythm again this summer and being able to use it when I can this year. I think will just only help me grow and not only just rely on 3-point shots.
Talking to Keegan Murray. Keegan, last season we heard a lot about, when we talked about your defensive improvement, heard a lot about you working with De'Aaron Fox. We know De'Aaron Fox, he had a beautiful baby girl this season. Yeah. Were you able to work out with De'Aaron like you did last offseason? Is there anybody on the team that you worked with? Who did you work with this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I've traveled a lot more this year. At one point I was up in Chicago with Herb Jones, and then I was with Fox. I went out to Houston because he was out there most of the summer. So I went out to Houston for a little bit, went with him. Then I've been working out with Malik probably the past month. So I've gotten out of Sacramento a lot more than I had before. So
you had the USA Select and things like that.
The USA thing. Yeah. I was in Iowa for a little bit. Chicago. Yeah. So I was out.
So you're going back and forth, right? When you have these one-on-ones. Now, obviously, you're in the NBA. Everybody's got a large repertoire. But when you're facing De'Aaron Fox or even Malik Monk at this point, you kind of know. Do you know what they like to do? Like when you're watching them play and they get to one spot, and do you think to yourself, oh, I know what he's about to do here. I could stop him, but the defender has no clue what he's going to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why they're both great offensive players because you can't really guess.
Yeah.
If you haven't played them as much as I have, but with those guys, I definitely know like what their tricks are and stuff like that. Fox knows a lot of my tricks, so yeah.
How much this season too are you just excited to play with DeMar? I don't know how much you've heard, but he's definitely somebody who seems to take a lot of young players under your wing. I guess you're kind of starting to be a vet here. You're in year 3. I don't know if you can really still. I know for this team you're probably a younger guy, but what have you kind of heard from guys around the league about what DeMar can bring?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I heard he's a good guy, just off the court, and obviously on the court he's gonna help us a lot late in games and just kind of getting the rhythm of the game back. So I feel like overall he's going to be a huge help for us. So I'm just excited to kind of pick his brain and just figure it out.
Sure.
Keegan Murray, great stuff. Before we get you out of here, there was a situation that happened before we came back with you and Mike Brown. People can check social media to see what happened there when you were taking your picture. So people will find that. But I wanted to ask Keegan, with that being said, it was a very funny moment. From the coaches that you've had from high school to Iowa to now, would you call your relationship with Coach Mike Brown one of the most unique relationships you've had with a coach? From the outside, it looks pretty unique to us.
Yeah, I'd probably say just because off the court, I feel like he's kind of took me under his wing, and it's all like non-basketball off the court, stuff like that. And then once we're on the court, he's probably my toughest critic. So it's been cool just to kind of have that relationship the last 2 years, going into the third year. So, and he's been great for the community of Sacramento for sure.
Keegan Murray, thank you so much, man. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah. We will look forward to watching you this season. It's going to be a good season. Good luck to you, man. Sure. And we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate y'all.
That was Keegan Murray of your Sacramento Kings. Great stuff from Keegan there, Chris.
Amazing, man. I mean, he's a quiet guy, but he says a lot, and I think he's definitely ready. I will say, gave me a funny look when I said you're a vet now. I don't think he's fully ready to be in year. I don't think it's hit him yet.
What's the rule?
If you're
right?
year 3, you're a vet.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean,
I don't know.
Year 1, you're obviously a rookie. Year
You're
2,
not a rookie,
you
but
get a little bit of a mulligan
year 4.
because it's like, okay, you're still fresh, but you're supposed to learn off of your rookie year.
Yeah.
Year 3, I mean, how much longer can you really hold on to that leash? So,
yeah,
he's like I said, he's still one of the younger guys on this team. So maybe he still feels like he gets treated as one of the younger guys, but this is the season where, it's if Keegan Murray has a big season, like, people are going to start talking about him being a cog in this thing and not just an exciting young player, but somebody who is a part of their foundational 4 or 5, however many you can stack up.
You're not a vet. You're not a vet, but I don't know. Year 4 to me gives.
It was probably,
more
this
vibes.
is like he probably just got out here at media day. I don't think it's set in yet that he is year 3.
Yeah,
he's probably still in those year 2.
He
just finished year 2 summer.
Right, Boogie L's gonna have a question for him, and he's gonna say something that's gonna hit him and say, "Oh wait,
exactly.
I'm not the young dude anymore." Great stuff from Keegan Murray. We have more when we return. Stiles and Watkins. Sacktown Sports, and we're actually not.
Oh, we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere.
How's it going? Appreciate you, man.
How you doing? Domantas Sabonis, little pump fake for you. There you go.
Exactly.
Domantas Sabonis, great stuff, man. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing this media day? We know it can be a lot. You're walking
done a
around.
lot of media too.
Yeah. Is this one any different? You feel, because you've been on a world tour. I can't turn on my TV or go on social media with the starting 5. Yeah. Between you and DeMar, the starting 5, everything you got going on. Has this summer been different than the summers past for you with the addition of the Netflix show?
No, I think that's usually how my summers go. It's just, I've had the camears following me. All summer for the first time, so people are aware.
I'm just curious. I mean, not to bring up something bad to start, but how hard was it to watch the Olympics, knowing you guys were so close to getting there, and then it was a pretty memorable Olympic Games too. How tough was it to just kind of watch that?
Definitely tough. Definitely tough. We lost to a good Puerto Rico team, in their home turf. But that's kind of basketball. You can't always win. There's always a blessing with everything I say. I had time to rest more for this season. Get healthy, and there's pros and cons to everything always.
Talking to Domantas Sabonis. Domantas, everyone has talked a lot about the consistency, and you've been very open about, hey, this team needs to be more consistent. Can you expand on what that actually means? Is that going out and getting a DeMar DeRozan? Yeah. Is it more of a mindset? How does this team become more consistent?
For me, what I would like is, I don't care about none of that. Just be locked in every game.
Yeah.
Fight hard. We all saw we beat the best teams. The next day we lose against the lower seeds, you know, and that kind of ended up putting us in a position to play the playing game, and not making the playoffs. But if we made the playoffs, I was more than confident we're going to advance.
Yeah.
Because we're playing against good teams, and we all know how we play against good teams. So if we can somehow focus to treat every game that matters, for me, that's the biggest thing, Where then at the end of the day, we're going to put ourselves in the best position. We probably blew 10 games last year, and who knows, that would have changed our seeding dramatically, especially in the West.
Yeah. And you've now been here for a couple of years. You signed your extension a couple off seasons ago. Do you feel like you're kind of finally settled in a bit, and like you kind of have a bit of a voice on the floor and maybe also up top with
yeah, of course.
office?
Ever since the day I got here, the office and the team has opened me with welcome arms, and they've really make me feel like home here, like I've been here for a long time, So definitely feel that way going into this season too.
Yeah.
Talking to Domantas Sabonis. Domantas, we saw the clip of you working out with DeMar at USC. How was that finally getting to work with him? What did you learn about his game? And what can you get the fans excited about for what we're going to see this season?
It was awesome. It was easy. It felt like butter. We kind of meshed easily in our two-man game. And that's what we're most excited about. But what I learned about him, he's so smart. He manipulates the big game, just to win. He's here. He just wants to win. And he's going to help us tremendously just by us being around him. So that's what I'm most happy for, is guys asking him questions. He's willing to open up, and He's been in the league. I'm going to say it right here.
What
15
is
years.
it? Yeah.
15 years, Hall of Fame career, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So pick his brain and just get better.
Yeah, and I think I heard you in an interview the other day say that you learned a lot from him or a lot about him off the floor as well. Did you guys get an opportunity after the workout to grab dinner or anything?
Yeah,
and
basically just talking to him, you know, he's super cool.
Yeah.
Amazing dude, you know, and just wants to help, you know what I mean? And he's open to talking, you know, obviously he has his book.
Right.
And you learn a lot there. So he's really interesting, really cool, you know, and I'm excited, you know, I'm excited for tomorrow to start and us going on the road and just bonding more.
Domantas Sabonis, this has been a pleasure, man. I got to say, you know, us lefties, we got to stick together whenever I see you out there. We got a couple lefties on the game, so I definitely love that. You being out there in Napa, before we let you go, got to ask, you know, we see the pictures when you guys are out at the wineries, things like that. I'm going to take a guess. I don't know if I'll be right or wrong, but Domantas, you're kind of striking me as a red guy. Are you a red guy? Or
I'm definitely a red guy, but I like whites. I mean, it all depends. It depends on the situation. Where are you drinking it? You know, you can't. You're not gonna drink a red on the beach.
No, you're not gonna do that.
One, you know, with your fish. So it just depends.
There you go, Domantas Sabonis. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this season. We can't wait to watch, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Coming up next, we continue
Appreciate it.
the conversation as Domantas Sabonis makes his way. This has been great stuff so far, and we're going to continue. Stiles and Watkins, don't go anywhere. You don't know who will show up. Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Sacramento Kings Media Day
on Sacktown Sports.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports. 30 more minutes with you. This has been one of the fastest shows I think we've ever done, Chris. And it's also been one of the most fun shows I think we've ever done. And the fun is going to continue here with the one, the only Orlando Robinson, one of the newest Sacramento Kings. Orlando, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Let's start here. You know, going back to your time at Fresno State, what did you kind of learn about yourself at Fresno State? Are you excited for everything Fresno State has going on as all these conferences are changing? Tell us about your time at Fresno State and also the Fresno Pro-Am that you were at this summer as well.
I mean, my time at Fresno
has always been like a great time. I love being there. I love learning there. I learned how to be a better basketball player, a better leader, a better man. My coach, Coach Hudson, is a very good coach in my 3 years there, and Fresno is home to me now. And the Pro-Am is just my way of showing that my appreciation and my love for Fresno.
How was that too? Because I think Quincy Pondexter put all that together. I mean, we were here in Sacramento and we were like, am I going to have to go out to Fresno this weekend? Because there's about 15, 20 pros that were out there. What was that experience like? And just to kind of be around the local talent there.
Q setting that up was just a great thing, man. It's getting better and better every year. I plan on going back next year and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you should definitely come out, show some love, because it's going to be hype.
Absolutely. And then, we're getting you from Miami with the Miami Heat.
True.
What would you explain is Heat culture? Because it's definitely a term that people throw out all the time. We've had a former Patriot on here talking about the Patriot way. What exactly would you say is Heat culture?
I would say it's just attention to detail, and just bringing that same professionalism and everything that you do in that organization. And I feel like people could do that everywhere. We can build our own unique culture here in SAC, and that's what I plan on doing.
Awesome. So, talking to Orlando Robinson. Orlando, for those who are still trying to learn who you are as a player, learn your game, how would you describe yourself to the Sacramento fans as what they're going to get night in, night out? How would you describe yourself as a player?
I would just say I'm very versatile. I could do a lot of things on the ball and off the ball. That's what I learned in my time in Miami and in Fresno State. Just a dog, ready to compete, ready to just go out there and give everything he has and try to win something crazy out here. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Obviously, training camp starts tomorrow, so you probably haven't seen a ton of Domas's game firsthand, but just kind of with your experience with him, how similar would you say, or different completely, are him and Bam's games? More so just because they get brought up a lot in the same conversation as one of the best bigs in the NBA.
For sure. I mean, Bam's more defensive, a lob threat. He's getting his three right and has a good post game. But Domas is strong around the basket, knows how to use his body, rebounds like a mug, and competes. And they both compete.
Yeah.
So I would say comparing both of them, they both have their own things, but they're both great players in their own right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking to Orlando Robinson. Orlando, not sure how much you've gotten to be around in the city so far in Sacramento, but what made you excited to choose Sacramento, get out here, whether it's the team or just the city itself, the environment? I mean, you talk about Fresno. We're not too far from Fresno, a couple hours, so I think that probably helped as well. But what made you excited to play for the Kings?
Just the opportunity. This team is trying to build up and try to be a top contender in the West, and I want to be a part of that. And it's close to home, close to Vegas. It's a great town, as I'm seeing in my few months being here. Everybody's connected, and they show love. I'm just trying to go get a mattress, and people showing love to me. So, I mean, I love that, and I look forward to playing for this city.
Yeah, awesome. What if anything, have you been told your role is going to be this season? It's just kind of you, Domas, and Alex as like the traditional bigs on this team. What do you expect your role to be this year?
Just to go out there and compete, really.
Yeah.
Control the boards, play smooth with my teammates, while also showcasing what I can do on the perimeter, playmaking, and rebounding and defending. So.
Sure.
Orlando Robinson, can't wait to see it, man. Thank you so much for the time. Good luck this season. We're very excited to see what you bring to the table, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
That was Orlando Robinson, one of the
newest
newest Sacramento Kings, and he was a joy in Fresno, and he will be a joy out here. That is great stuff for the one, the only Orlando Robinson. See, Chris, I mean, this is what we're talking about, man. And, I've never seen, so our boss is over here in the corner, Jose.
Yeah.
And I've never seen
get like three
I've never seen a man with a bigger smile on his face than Jose talking about Fresno State. I mean, you got to give it a rest here.
Come on.
As Whitey is behind us like he's chaperoning us. I promise you, Whitey.
I know. We'll give over the mic. We promise.
Yeah, I promise you, Whitey. We won't forget. But great stuff from Orlando Robinson. Man. I mean, when you talk about a guy who just trying to, find his footing in this league. And like we said, we're never going to say no to 6'10" and athleticism and somebody that is going to just add to the depth that the Kings have been missing as the front court really tries to grow. So great stuff.
Absolutely great stuff from Orlando. Love to talk with him. That's the first time I've been able to kind of hear him interviewed. And, again, everybody here seems so chill. You were surprised, and as was I should say.
Yeah.
Mason Jones came here and was probably the softest spoken person that we talked
Did
with.
not see that coming.
Even though he provides the most energy off the bench. And we see him doing the little social games over there. He's clapping it up.
Yeah.
So he's in
We might have got
force,
duped.
man. I
We
feel
might have got
like we
duped.
might have. You know what it is?
I think he heard the Nate segment.
He might have
I think
heard.
he heard the Nate
He
segment.
might have heard the Nate segment.
Yeah.
I think
That was
Mason
like 10
Jones
years ago.
heard Nate absolutely disrespect what he brings to this team. And Mason
We're
said,
lucky
you know what?
he did the interview.
Completely.
Yeah.
We're so lucky.
I was
you know what?
sweating.
Thank you, Mason, for being a professional.
Yeah,
and at
because
least
I
conducting the
wouldn't
interview.
have been able to do it.
No, not at all. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just speaks to the professionalism of this team. And I thought Mason had great things to say. Hearing what Orlando had to say there is pretty much what we heard our friend Asante Cleveland talk about when we asked him about the Patriot Way. There's nothing special. It's not like they're, giving those guys Michael's secret stuff or nothing.
No.
It's just paying attention to what your role is and excelling in your role and just doing the little things. And that's the thing that we've heard about the Patriot Way, and it's what Orlando had to say about what exactly Heat culture is. And I didn't even have to ask him. He said, and that's something we can bring here. It's not something that is just curated in Miami. It's absolutely just a mindset, a mentality that you can bring anywhere you go. And hopefully he can be somebody who can bring some of that here. I wish I could have asked him why he chose number 77 also.
Right.
That's just not something you
I'm
see
just
every
looking around at like who's smiling, who's just kind of dragged. Who do you think was the most excited? Who, as everybody, uses media day. Oh, I got to do media day. I got to do that. Who do you think was the most, who secretly likes, because I feel like the cool NBA thing to do is to not like media.
For sure.
Because you got to do all this
gotta answer
stuff.
questions.
You got to get in your jersey. But who secretly likes media day?
I don't think Malik does. I will say that. I thought Malik might have been a stealth candidate for that. I think he's doing it, but I don't think he secretly loves it. That's a great question.
I think
because the thing about the key there for me is secretly. Like, I think Domas enjoys this. I don't think he minds doing all of this.
What about Kevin
Keegan
Huerter?
liked it. Keegan was laughing.
I think Keegan.
I don't think Keegan likes it.
I think
really?
Keegan likes it.
I don't think Keegan likes it.
I think Keegan likes it.
How can one read that man though? Like,
he was more cheerful than definitely what he could have been for sure.
Nate's trying to earn his way back after Mason Jones, and maybe
I'm doing a good job.
Maybe we're getting there, but
doing a great job.
I think it might be. It's either Keegan or Kevin Huerter. Those are my two.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk to Kevin,
but he was smiling. With Dave.
He had a big smile,
and you'll hear that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everybody.
You know who we just saw walk out too that I kind of forgot was on the team? Scal Labissiere.
Yeah, Scal Labissiere.
He's making his way around as well.
Familiar face.
Yeah,
we'll see if he secretly likes media day.
Yeah, we got.
I think
Terry
DeMar
Stotts.
DeRozan
I'm sure he does.
definitely loves media day.
Yeah, I think so.
And Domantas Sabonis. So
yeah,
with the
a man we have
Netflix.
not seen. Period. De'Aaron Fox.
I saw him poke his head out back behind this corner.
Yeah,
that was about 2 hours ago.
I was like, I haven't seen him walk around, go station to station. I haven't heard him.
So we got to get eyes on De'Aaron, but we will definitely try to do that. 20 more minutes with you. It's been, like I said, a lightning fast show, but it's been great stuff. We will then hand it off to the Drive guys to take us home for Sacramento Kings Media Day. Sacktown Sports, the only place you're getting wall-to-wall coverage for your Sacramento Kings. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
She used to meet me on the side.
Khalid, live in concert. See him performing at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the sensational Khalid for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. For more, visit KhalidOfficial.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
The word "for" has been used in golf for centuries, and its origins can be traced to the Middle Ages. According to historians, the word "for" is derived from the Old English word meaning before or in front of. In those days, the term was used to warn people of incoming arrows during archery practice. Another theory suggests that "for" has military connections. During the 19th century, artillery officers would yell "for" to warn their troops of incoming shells. This practice may have carried over to golf. The most popular theory, however, is that "for" has Scottish roots. In Scotland, "for-caddy" was used to describe a person who walked ahead of the golfers to spot where their ball landed. The for-caddy would then yell "for" to warn the golfers if their ball was heading towards another golfer or a spectator. Today, "for" is used to warn golfers or spectators of an errant shot. Whether it's derived from the Middle Ages, military practice, or Scottish roots, "for" has become an integral part of the game of golf, and now you know why. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Live from Kings Media Day.
It's Stiles and Watkins
On Sacktown Sports 1140.
Show yourselves here at camp.
We started with
an
internal interview with one Frankie Cartoscelli, and we're going to end with one.
That's right.
With Whitey Gleason. Whitey, what is going on with the drive guys coming up? Are you guys going to have any players, or you're just in the building? What's going on here?
There's I believe there are only 2 players left who haven't spoken to the station.
Correct.
So,
and there's one that is a big one.
Yeah. So I don't know the answer to your question, Alan. You know, it's media day. There are media luminaries here as well that perhaps will be joining us. Unfortunately, we're only on until 4:30 because of the excitement of Monday Night Football.
Well, and that's the thing. People can, do their, what it would be, process of elimination they don't know who's been on the morning show, but
pretty much everybody.
Yeah. Everybody except one guy. And he's got a new shoe.
And a new baby.
And
I'm not, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to suggest that, he's coming on. I mean, that'd be great if
It'd
he
be
is.
great.
I have no idea.
There's a better chance that he is than he isn't. If we were to just go in that way, you got Kyle Draper, and when they see Draper in that suit,
that's true.
I want to get interviewed by that guy. You know what I mean? And I just talked for 4 hours. Whitey, we had a lot of fun today here on, and Nate's just Nate is just cracking up here. He's delusional. I mean, he's been working so hard today.
Man.
Whitey,
out Nate. Shout out Simone.
Who are you most excited to? Because I know obviously you've been out here from the interviews that you saw us do. Who are you most excited to watch on YouTube?
Well, Alex Len, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Did not have Alex Len.
Oh.
No.
Do you know if he's been on at all?
I don't think he has.
He
No,
definitely
I think he got
hasn't.
skipped out. Yeah. Oh yeah, we probably would have noticed him.
Yes.
I heard you guys talking about Alex Len. I assumed you had him on.
That's right. No,
Yeah.
no.
Chris
Alex
and I have
is
a history
naturally-
with Alex Len.
We sure do. We sure
Enjoyable
do.
interview. Looking forward to that.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. And I was hoping for a follow-up this
But I
year.
do want to, DeMar, I was standing right behind him, but I don't know how that went. I know you guys talked to Malik, which is always fun.
Incredible.
I got some great pictures of that for you, too, if you want.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Whitey.
For you, Chris. I sent them to you.
Thank you.
Well,
Yes,
you
I thought
blocked
I
my
got those.
number,
Thank
so
you.
I don't know
Yeah.
how I
They
would
look
get
great.
them. Whitey, we were talking about this going back to photo day, right, or picture day at school. Were you big on picture day? Were you excited?
No,
Okay.
I figured out how to just avoid having my picture taken entirely.
So you would just be like the
What does that
stock
even mean?
image?
No, I would not. When it was your turn to go up, I'm not doing it. I was in like for basketball or for the yearbook or whatever, or the school newspaper. But
So under Kevin, Michael, Whitey, Gleason, there's just no picture.
I
It's
don't
just a
think they're-
silhouette.
I don't think they have my name. They just, I
You just
figured
didn't
that
go to-
out.
you never
about
went to
probably
school.
Eighth grade. I was there. I was just like, I don't want my picture taken.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whitey, we've been behind this table. I mean, you and I briefly said that it feels like the energy is a little bit different here, just a little bit more calm. What have you seen out in the wild? Does it feel like it's more calm out there? And what have you heard anything from the scrums that kind of gets a vibe for how these guys are feeling today?
Well, I know last year you and I we went 2 to 4:30, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we
that
were doing
sounds right.
afternoons.
Yeah.
And there were still a lot of
Oh
people
my
that came
gosh,
through. Yeah. So this year it seems like everything is more getting everybody in, do their thing, and
Yep.
I'm, that's not a negative.
No, not at
but
all.
it's just get in, do the thing, and move on with it. So it did seem like it was a little more streamlined and almost more efficient in a way.
Sure.
A little less, hey, it's loosey goosey. Here we are, media day. It's like media day. We're doing this. Hey, how are you? How are you? Hey, good to see you. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, and I think some of the fun of Media Day too is, I saw a video earlier of Klay Thompson dapping up Kyrie Irving and saying what's up. It feels like, again, we've kind of been stuck behind this table, but I haven't really seen a lot of, hey, DeMar sneaks behind De'Aaron and, they dap each other up and there's funny pictures and everything like that. Just feels very business-like today.
Yes.
Feels like we're
Yes.
just getting things done, getting ready for the season. And like you said, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's every year we talked with Frankie. I said every year there's kind of a different vibe, a different energy at Media Day. And for whatever reason, this one feels very straightforward and to the point.
Reflecting the business-like approach that Coach Stotts like. That's right.
That's right.
Get in there and do your business.
Okay, so no, here, this is what happened so people understand the reference, what we're talking about. There is a photographer here that Nate said he thought from behind looked like Whitey Gleason.
Yes.
When the guy turned around,
You
I
both
said,
have black polos on.
yeah,
also.
when the guy turned around, I said, I think this guy looks like Terry Stotts. So now Whitey texts Nate immediately during the show and said, I don't look like Terry Stotts. So that's how we got here.
Didn't actually do that, but okay.
You said you did. Not a text.
No, Mike.
Okay.
No, when
fair
I
enough.
saw him.
Okay,
I said,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. My medium was wrong. My medium was wrong. Chris, who was your favorite interview today?
That's a great question. I really
Including
love
this one.
No,
Yeah,
well, this one's at
definitely
the
not
bottom.
this one.
I'm regretting my decision.
Yeah, maybe Frankie Cartoscelli. No, I mean, I really loved what Malik had to say. I feel like we kind of brought a little bit out of him, asking him about the golf. I'm insanely curious about his golf game. I feel like we should chronicle that on the Kings, the run this year instead. I loved what Malik had to say. And, I think Keegan did bring a little bit of we saw a little bit of a smile at Keegan. I think that's a massive win as far as interviews go. So those were probably the two that stick out. But a lot of just little nuggets. I mean, Mike Brown told us the starting lineup. We didn't even have time
by the way,
to really talk about anything.
Yes.
Because we had person to person to person. Mike Brown answered the question that we've been asking all summer long.
It took him a while to get there.
Guard?
Keon Ellis. He said Kevin Herter is technically injured right now, and he's not going to be able to start the season. He then went on to talk about Malik Monk, and I'm sure, Malik has heard it, like you said, a million times, but he brought up Manu, he brought up Iguodala, pretty much to say, I like Malik off the bench, and that leaves Keon Ellis in that starting spot. So that was probably the biggest bit of information we got today.
Yeah. And like I said, he was going, and I was just wondering, all right, is he going to
answer the question?
Because
a lot
I was
of coach speak
fully
there.
prepared for him to not. But shout out to Mike Brown. That was great stuff. I would say I really liked, and now my new favorite player is Jordan McLaughlin.
Oh, he was great. He was great. Yeah, he was
awesome.
really, really great. Good energy, good attitude from him. And he definitely can be somebody that I think is an unsung hero, or at least somebody that I don't think a lot of people have a lot of expectations for. Not really a household name or anything like that, but he was a dynamite shooter last year, and I think he can definitely bring something to the table this year. And that did remind me, Alan, the funniest moment of today that we had to blow right through it, because again, we just had interview after interview. I don't know if you caught it or not. Mason Jones, to a decibel, knew his shooting percentage and how many attempts he took per game last year. I was like, he said, I shot 42% on 5.8 threes per game last year, and I just really hope to improve on that. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard any NBA player just rattle off their basketball reference.
I'll bet you a lot more guys seriously know
I'm
it and
sure
just
they do.
don't say it.
Yeah, it's almost
guys
like
are
an
keenly aware of their stats, even during games.
I would imagine so, and it just it caught me off guard how open he was on it, and I didn't even double check it because I assume he got it right, but that definitely stuck out to me.
They call it Allen Stiles syndrome, by the way. Allen's like, hey, that was a hit. That wasn't an error.
That's right. That's right. I had to, those interns, they didn't know what the heck they were doing. How is that an error? He didn't score from second. So why did I get an error on that?
How's that a fielder's choice?
How is that a fielder's choice? I would have beat that out.
Yeah.
But, the question came from me asking Mason, how do you differentiate yourself from all the other guards?
Yep.
There's a guard logjam, and that's what he said.
Guys were very open today, too.
They were.
Yeah.
They were, and I don't think
anybody dodged anything.
No, and if anything, I mean, we even found out, Whitey, if you were to guess, is Domantas Sabonis when it comes to his wine, he's in Napa. Is he red guy or a white wine guy?
I think he's probably a
got a 50-50
Pinot guy.
Ooh.
Well, red.
Yeah.
There you go.
I learned something with that one. Yeah, he was
but we both like red wine.
That's how you know you're in a different tax bracket. He was like, I'm not going to obviously like different occasions call for different wines. Like, I'm not going to have a red wine on a beach. And I was like, dude.
I knew that.
That's a big NBA thing, right? A lot of the players
love wine. I mean,
No, and then he went on to say I'll have some white wine on the beach with some fish.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Because you drink white, you drink white with the fish.
Yeah,
you drink
me
the
too,
red
Domas,
with the. Me too. I mean, me and Domas. We really connected today.
Just incredible.
We really connected. One more time, want to give a shout out to Nate.
Yes.
Nate, little feel for everything that he did today. And Nate, are you done now? Or
no, he's got to.
No, I know, but you can relay the information to me. You have to work drive,
Just
guys.
give me hand signals.
Nate has to work drive,
2 thumbs
guys.
up.
Nobody is working harder than one Nate Littlefield. Great stuff from Nate. As, by the way, the man has emerged in the brand new.
Oh, he's got his shoes on,
the Fox Curry ones.
The Fox Curry ones.
De'Aaron Fox. We will see if he makes his way over here eventually. That's Whitey's problem, not ours. We already did what we had to do. Chris, well, this has been great, man.
Yeah, I mean, this has been absolutely incredible. It doesn't matter how many of these things you go to, you never get tired of being here. And the environment was great. Like I said earlier, I mean, the guys, they were very upfront, didn't dodge any questions. Mike Brown tried to give us, he took us on a little detour, but he eventually got us back on the highway. And I feel excited, man. It feels like the season's here. Sometimes you leave these things and it almost feels like a separate experience. No, this one really does feel like I'm officially ready. We got DeMar in a Kings jersey on my right now. This is the first time I'm getting a glimpse of him in that number 10. It's feeling real. And it all starts tomorrow, man. It all starts tomorrow with training camp.
And here's the tease. We have the official word. De'Aaron Fox will be with our morning show. They get everybody.
Yeah, you know.
This is not how it was supposed to
That's
go. The
definitely
morning
not how it's
show
supposed
will
to go,
get
you know.
De'Aaron Fox, so
Dave
you will be
flexes
able
his
to
muscles.
hear that tomorrow only on Sacktown Sports.
I'm
you know,
sure
guys,
we'll play back some of them too.
Oh yeah, we'll just run the whole thing.
We'll let you guys-
We'll just run the whole thing. There you go. Whitey Gleason coming up next with the one, the only Kyle Draper. Draper said he's doing the show in his suit. He's not changing. So I better,
You asked him?
I asked him. I said, "Are you going to change?" And he said he's not changing. He said he's just doing. I guess it is a shorter show.
Sure.
I forgot about that. So Draper will be sweaty and ready to go for Monday Night Football. Whitey Gleason, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you.
And thank you to all, no callers today, but thank you to the texters. We saw you and the Sack chatters as well. And everybody that gave us questions on social media and on those platforms. Thank you to the Sacramento Kings for making this thing happen. Thank you to everybody that we interviewed. It was great. Thank you to Frankie Cartoscelli.
Huge thanks to Frankie.
is cooking up some stuff right now for Sacktown Sports.
And Emil, too. I think Emil's cutting stuff up.
And Emil as well. Brandon Nunez is doing something.
Yeah,
I
he's doing
promise.
scrum
Yeah,
stuff.
he's doing his job. We promise. Tomorrow, we are back as usual, 10
Back
a.m.,
in
2 p.m., talking about everything. If you missed any of our interviews, check them out. They are potted up on the Sacktown Sports app. They are also on YouTube. You can check them out there. We also will play some clips from them tomorrow. And all week long, we're around the corner
That's right.
from Kings
That's
basketball.
right.
Chris
Tell 'em.
Watkins, Alan Stiles. We'll be back tomorrow. Until tomorrow, we are in the building where you secure the bag and light the beam.
That's a wrap.